Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom, brother Naquam.
Shalom, shalom, brother. Right.
Coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday night fire, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, Malak Yahushua. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, laboring and patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach, Malak Yahushua. A hearty, mighty shalom to the men of the Lord who are out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, magnifying the name of the Most High, sealing the elect and laboring in the vineyard. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're studying, they're fasting, they're being diligent, and they're abiding in the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. And last but not least, shalom to the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, hold it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. Topic of this Monday Night Fire, you can see this is volume 3, killing 7 major demons, right? Killing 7 major demons going on within the nation of Israel, right? Volume 1, we covered lust and every aspect, most willing of lust. Volume 2, we covered slothfulness, man, that idle spirit that's hindering you from growing in the knowledge of the Most High, right? In volume 3, we're going to do pretty much a mix. We're going to cover grudges. We're going to cover brotherly love. We're going to cover envy. We're going to cover hatred. We're going to cover not taking correction. We're going to go into the aspects of how to deal with one another as a nation, man. You know, you got a lot of folly in the nation. You got camp beef. You got brothers hating brothers because they have a different color on. You have marital grudges. You have brothers holding grudges against brothers in other camps. You have brothers with internally in the same congregation who never speak, right, due to some type of a folly or some type of disorder. So we want to clear up that spirit, most High willing, and bring out the proper edification to get rid of that spirit that may be in your household, that may be in your heart, and that may be in your respective congregation or within your family, man. But you got it, King.
And to line me back on what the brother is saying, you know, it's real mighty to touch on the fruits of the spirit and things that are going to cleanse out your spirit, you understand, and have you to be on fire for the Lord. Because you can know all the in-depth breakdowns, the secrets, the parables and assemblies and all of the similitudes, but if your spirit not right, if you're not loving your brother, if you're not exercising the words of the Lord and keeping these commandments, you're going to be destroyed. That's why it's very important to go into these things, man. The brothers catching hell, the brothers, you know, falling out the truth left and right because they don't know how to exercise the law. You know, the Lord is sifting men out eventually, you understand? For men that are not diligent in keeping these commandments. And essentially, the more you know, it's how to exercise the spirit, how to stay on fire, how to fast, how to pray, how to love your brother, how to go to the law, how to do counsels and execute certain things is going to keep you flourishing in the truth, man, as Yahweh Shai waters you. So this is very important. I'm going to kick it off. And grudges is one of the main spirits brothers harbor in, and they may not even notice it, man. You may hate a brother for no apparent reason. You may not speak to a brother, you know, because you don't like that brother. You and him don't click. You got a spirit to where I don't want to talk to him. And sisters too, I don't want to talk to her. Hey, we got to check that spirit, man, because it's going to grow. And essentially everything that isn't checked immediately and examines, it does what? It harbors feelings. It starts to grow and then waxes worse. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 24 and verse number 4, right? 1 Samuel chapter 24 and verse 4. And the men of David said unto him, behold, the day of which the Lord said unto thee, behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it seemed good unto thee. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privately. So David, you understand, was getting pursued by Saul. So David cut off the skirt, meaning a garment of Saul. Now, David could have killed Saul, man. He could have harbored up that hatred of Saul pursuing him, hating him, throwing a javelin at him, doing unjust dealings to him, right? Selling off his daughter and doing God knows what, man. It's easy to harbor in feelings and be a demon and a nigga man. Somebody step on your shoe, you ready to fight him. You know, somebody says something you don't like, and now you ready to be in an uproar and out of order, man. But it's hard to exercise the fruits of the spirit. That's what makes you a true man. When you forgive, when you love your brother, man. It's easy to go out and do God knows what, man. You know how many murders are going on as we speak? How many people are in drive-by shootings, and how many people are setting people up on the phone that's their own brother that knows their whereabouts? It says this, and it came to pass after that David's heart smote him because he had cut off Saul's skirt. And a lot of brothers, their heart is smokes you, meaning you feel some type of way. The Lord said, blessed is he whose conscience have not condemned him, huh? And you know when your conscience condemns you. You do something wrong and a brother, hurt a brother's feelings, or XYZ, it may destroy a brother's household. It may stir up more spirits, and spirits hop on other brothers. And next thing you know, it's a tumult, it's confusion, it's an uproar, it's unjust dealings. You know when your heart smokes you, man. When something don't feel right. And David had a good conscience. He had a good spirit. So as he did this, his heart smote him, man. How many times have you done something off and your heart doesn't smote you? You're just moving in that spirit. That's how you know you're moving in a wicked spirit. Because you don't examine yourself and check yourself. If you do something peradventure, God forbid, your heart should smote you, man. She'd be like, why did I do that, man? What the hell was I thinking? You know what? I have to be the bigger person and apologize. I have to be the bigger person and make amends to what I'm doing, man. Whether that's in your marriage, whether that's in your household with your brother, whatever's going on, you need to make amends. And David's heart smote him. It says, and he said unto his men, the Lord forbid that I should do this thing unto my master. And the Lord's anointed to stretch forth my hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord. You don't know how many brothers are the anointed of the Lord, man. You may be talking to Judith back on the earth, man, your wife. Maybe talking to Esther, or talking to the many women that followed the Lord on his journeys and got healed. You don't know who your wife is, and you should respect the daughters of Zion regardless. You don't know who your brother is, man. You may disrespect the brother, and you don't know how the Most High feels about that soul that he created, how much he loves him, and how much he's going to bring him into honor in the last days. You got Paul. Paul was going off, but the Lord in his latter end bring him to honor and glory. So as you go through certain things, not only do you have to exercise patience and love, but you also have to understand who you're dealing with, man. You're dealing with the Most High's elect and his child, his children. That's why David's mind wasn't, oh, he's going off, he's committing sin. I could do X, Y, Z and be justified in his mind. His thought was that this was the Most High's anointing.
Con. And, this is important, man. Right? This is very important. I want to get the classic, right in the law. Right? A lot of brothers, they tend to lose focus on what this thing is about, man. This thing is about repenting and keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments, man. Right? Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. And that's plain, man. Right? Brothers have to love one another, man. And love is not the love in the world, man. Love is not buying your brother a damn ounce of weed, or buying him a bottle on his birthday, or taking him to the strip club and doing God knows what, man, and the nasty lights, man. Love is what? Keeping your brother out of sin, right? Love is what? Showing your brother that scripture when he's going off. Love is showing that brother exhortation, man. Counsel, being there for a brother, man. Right? Now, the Most High said, thou shalt not, Salakia. Let me read this again. I'm going to jump up. I'm going to read on. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. Avenge is payback. That tit for tat spirit. Oh, yeah, they made this post about me. I'm going to make a post about them. Oh, they did A, B, and C to me. I'm going to retaliate and do D, E, and F to them, man, or X, Y, and Z. Right? That's that avenging, bearing grudge. Oh, he didn't salute me. Oh, I ain't going to salute him next time. Oh, she didn't do this. Well, I ain't going. The Lord is going to destroy you, man. With all of your infinite knowledge and understanding, the Most High is going to destroy you for hating your brother and hold on to grudges, man. And the Most High can hold on to something. As long as you holding it on another Israelite, the Most High is holding that on to you, man. And the Lord is not hearing your prayers. The Most High is not hearkening to your fast. The Most High is not dealing with you, man. As long as you are holding on to these grudges, man. Let me get this precept in 2 Samuel, right? Let me get this precept in 2 Samuel, the 3rd chapter. So you got to ask yourself, are you holding on to anything? Do you have a hard heart? right? Does it take you, are you damn 3 weeks to forgive somebody, man? Hey, the Lord said, let not the sun go down on your wrath, man. Before the sun goes down, you should be able to reconcile any matter with any individual, man. Rather it's husband and wife, rather it's brother to brother, rather it's sister to sister. This stuff should not be going on, man, for weeks and weeks, man. You got entire congregations committing this trespass. Right? I want to get this in 2 Samuel, the 3rd chapter. Right? This is 2 Samuel, chapter 3. And I believe I want to start at 27. 2 Samuel, chapter 3 and 27. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside and the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him under the 5th rib, that he died for the blood of Asahel, his brother. Now, Joab was holding on to a grudge, man. He was holding on. This was a clean, fair battle. You understand? Now, Joab ended up slaying this man. He murdered this man based off of what happened to his brother. He held on to this, man, and it put a demon on him. And it ended up causing him to actually kill his brother. He murdered his brother in cold blood, right? It reads, and afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before the Lord forever from the blood of Abner, the son of Ner, right? It reads, and that's why David said, look, we had nothing to do with this, because David knew it was unjust. It was unjust. Why was it unjust? Because David, when they had that war, when you read the account, it was a clean war, right? It was a fair shake. But you can't slay a man in a time of peace. And I'm going to get that in 1 Kings, the 2nd chapter. You can't hold on to it, man. This stuff happens on the streets all the time, man. Right? You kill somebody in the world, they'll shoot and kill your cousin. Then he comes back and he'll kill your cousin. Then your uncle steps in and kills his father. Then the damn son comes up, and it's a never-ending conflict, man. Right? Reading on. It reads, let it rest on the head of Joab and on all his father's house. And let there not fail from the house of Joab one that hath an issue, or that is a leper, or that leaneth on a staff, or that falleth on the sword, or that lacketh bread. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, slew Abner because he had slain their brother Asahel at Gibeon in battle. So you can't go back and just commit murder, man. Now I can see if Joab or Abner, you know, he murdered him in cold blood, right? It was a premeditated. He plotted on him and he sought to kill him, right? But when you go to the account, let me get this precept in 1 Kings, the 2nd chapter. Right? This how you know that it was unjustified. 1 Kings chapter 2 and 5. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab, the son of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to the 2 captains of the host of Israel, unto Abner, the son of Ner, and unto Amasa, the son of Jether, whom he slew, and shed the blood of war in peace, and put the blood of war upon his girdle that was about his loins, and in his shoes that were on his feet. You see that? So that's what happens, man. And Joab ended up getting what? Put to death, man. Let's read on. Do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not his hoar head go down to the grave in peace. So the Most High is going to get up with you, man. The Most High didn't kill Joab immediately when that spirit hopped on him. He didn't kill him immediately when he slew Abner. The Lord let him get old, right? Hardened his heart, man. Then the Lord slew him. Not by David, but by David's son, Solomon. So you hold on those grudges if you want to. You think, well, ain't nothing happened to me. The Most High said, because since it's against an evil work, it's not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. That's Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. So you can think you're getting away with this grudge you're holding on to. And this is just you and your mind and your plots and plans, and you're going to be unforgiving. Hey, the Most High, he sees that, man. And the Most High don't have to get you right there. The Most High could wait a week. He could wait a year for you holding that grudge. And the Most High could wait 2 years. He got Joab when he was old. That's when the Most High brought his sense to light, man. By holding on to what Abner did. And Abner was justified when he took down Ashael. He even told Ashael, hey, stop pursuing me. I'm not going to go to the entire account. He said, stop pursuing me, man. And Ashael had a hot-head spirit, you know? So you got to let these spirits go, because the Most High, he's going to eventually cut you down, man. But you got it, King.
Con. And I want to touch on that account as well, man. Right? Because that essentially having all that leaven in you, right, is you're going to destroy yourself, man. And you're heaping up sin upon sin, man. Like you read about in Sirach, the 5th chapter. And eventually you're going to have a great fall, man. This 2 Samuel chapter 18 and verse, I'm going to start at 9. It says, and Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule went under a thick bole and a great oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken up between the heaven and the earth, and the mule that was under him went away. And a certain man saw it and told Joab, and said, behold, I saw Absalom hanged in an oak, man. So he went and told Joab, right? And Joab got news of Absalom hanging in the oak. It says, and Joab said unto the man that told him, and behold, thou sawest him, why didst thou not smite him there to the ground? And I would have given thee 10 shekels of silver and a girdle. So he's essentially bribing this man. David charged his servants not to kill his son Absalom. But Joab was so bloodthirsty, right? He was so hateful for his own brother that he wanted to do his own thing, man. We read 2 Samuel, the 19th chapter, 2 Samuel, the 18th chapter. This is a history of this man presumptuously doing what he wants to do. Not taking order, having hatred for his brother, going off. It says, and the man said unto Joab, though I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver in my hand, yet will I not put forth my hand against the king's son. For in our hearing, the king charged thee and Abishai and Thithai, saying, beware that none touch the young man Absalom. So David gave a commandment, and David just isn't anyone. He's the king. So if you deny the king or go against the king, you could be banished, right? Hey, you could be killed, man. This isn't a light matter. But yet Joab, he rebelled against the king. It says, then said Joab, I may not tarry thus with thee. And he took 3 darts in his hand and thrust them through the heart of Absalom while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak. And 10 young men that bare Joab's armor compassed about and smote Absalom and slew him. And Joab blew the trumpet, and the people returned from pursuing after Israel, for Joab held back the people. So Joab did what he wanted to do, man. And you can't move in that spirit of hatred and whether it's you justifying in your mind or not. If the king gave a commandment, you got to wait on the king. The Most High give you a commandment, you got to wait on the Most High. You can't say, well, know what? He did what he did. I got to get back. I got to do this right now. He don't know what he's talking about. David don't know what he's talking about. He went off. He has to die. Who are you to take matters in your own hands, man? Hey, the Lord said, wait on me, I say wait, in the book of Psalms, chapter 27 and verse 14. So you got to wait and be in order. You can't presumptuously do your own will, even if you feel like it's justified in your mind. Somebody may steal from you, and you may feel like, okay, you need to get back, but, I mean, is that right, man? You got to wait on the king. And the king is Yahushua, man. You got to wait till the Most High while Yahushua put things in order. No matter how hurt you are, or how much zealous you are, or bloodthirsty you are, like Joab, man. Somebody could have did you extremely dirty, right? Could have killed your brother, robbed you, took your wife, and did God knows what, man. But you have to stay in order. You can't say, well, according to the law, this is what needs to happen to that man, and I have to do it. You got to wait on the Most High, man, and that's very important. And a lot of jakes can't wait because they so amped up, and them spirits are on you, man. You want to execute judgment immediately when you have to wait upon the Lord. You got it.
Con, I want to get this in the book of James, man. Right? This is James, the 5th chapter. So brothers have to check that grudge spirit, man. That demon can stay on you, man. If you don't get that spirit off of you, that hate, it's going to stay. And it's going to filter and increase. First, let me get this real quick. Let me get 2 quick precepts. This is 2 Thessalonians. right? I mean, it's like 2 Corinthians. This 2 Corinthians chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 7. I'm going to start at 5. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 5. Right? So essentially, when you read this account, there was a man who went off, man. Right? And he essentially went against the Apostle Paul. Right? And there was a punishment put out by it, man. That's the background behind this. This man in the church of Corinth, whoever he was, he went off. And Paul is addressing it on how the church should deal with this man. So this, and it was mad. It was hot about it, man. Right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 5. But if any have caused grief, he hath not grieved me, but in part, that I may not overcharge you all. So Paul said, look, it's not that big of a deal. Right? Look, don't do the most to this brother. Right? Look, it's not that deep. Verse 6. Sufficient to such a man is this punishment which was inflicted of many. So it's sufficient for him to feel bad about offending me than you doing extra punishments to him, man. Right? Sometimes you feeling bad, that's enough, man. Right? You don't have to lay more affliction upon that man. He's already cut in the spirit, man. And his heart is broken. So Paul said, look, let that be enough for him. You don't have to do too much, man. Reading on. So that contrariwise, ye ought rather to forgive him and comfort him, lest perhaps such a one should be swallowed up with overmuch sorrow. And somebody could die off of that, man. Literally, they can have a damn anxiety attack. They can be beating themselves up in the mind. Here is the brother offended you, and he wants to apologize, and you, nah, hell no. I don't want to hear it. He's calling your phone. He's texting you. Hey, he took that humble approach, man. He's calling you. He's trying to check on you. Nah. I don't got to answer the phone. You may not say that out loud, but that's what you feel. I don't got to hit that brother back. I know how I feel, right? And I'm justified. Hey, the Most High said, you acting like that could put the spirit on another brother, man. Oh, imagine that brother reaching out. Oh, man, what did I do wrong? Oh, my God, this guy's going to kill me. Oh, he's not reaching out back to me. I'm texting him. I'm calling him. Oh, I'm so wicked. Maybe this truth isn't for me. Then he swallowed himself up. He started drinking, thinking about what this brother really is going to forgive him or not. He go back to smoking. Man, this brother, man, I know I'm supposed to love my brother, man. You know, he's smoking a blunt now. Maybe he feels like brotherly love isn't what this thing is about, man. He's hanging around brothers in the world. So, hey, a brother can get swallowed up. If you don't forgive a brother, it's not about you, man. If a brother's reaching out or a sister's reaching out, whether it's a text or a call or in person, or they want to set up a meeting or whatever the case may be, if you deny it, you could put a demon on them, man. And they could be swallowed up through over much sorrow. They can get depressed, a broken heart. They might not feel like reading that day, man. They may not want to do nothing that day till they hear from you. They might not want to study. They can't fast. They can't sleep. And you're just thinking about you and your feelings. No, it's all about me. I'll talk when I want to talk. I don't have to reach out. I don't have to hit this brother back or hit this sister back. And the Most High, and guess what? The Most High is going to destroy you too, man. Right, let me read that again. 2 Corinthians 2 and 7. So that contrariwise, ye ought rather to forgive him and comfort him. Right? You got to forgive and comfort. Yeah, you can't just say a brother, he say Salakia for, let's say a brother was looking at your woman, right? Let's say he was just drinking and he started kind of looking at your woman, right? And the brother reached out to apologize. That's a tough thing to kind of, it's not easy, man, because you're going to be mad about it. He lusting after you're going to be mad, right? But the brother's trying to reach out, man. He's trying to make things right. You got to forgive him and you got to comfort him. Look, out here. It's all good, King. Look, I know we all fall short. Here's a precept. And you comfort him with the precepts, man. He might be crying. I didn't mean to do that. I'm Salaki, I had a spirit on me. And you're supposed to comfort him, man, with the scriptures. And that's a real man of the Lord. The real man of the Lord is not the brother with the biggest staff, right? And the mightiest beard and the deepest voice. who knows all of the precepts, man. That's a man of the Lord right there who can forgive and comfort. It's easy to just forgive. All right, con. Y'all say Salakia, it's all good. But then taking that extra step, that shows a lot. It reads, lest perhaps such a one should be swallowed up with overmuch sorrow. Wherefore I beseech you that ye would confirm your love toward him. For to this end also did I write, that I might know the proof of you, whether ye be obedient in all things. So this is a test, man. Paul said, hey, look, I'm testing you. Are you going to forgive this man, or are you not? Hey, the Most High might have an altercation between you and a brother, or you and your woman, or whatever the case may be, just to see if you're going to forgive this brother. Right? These councils happen in the third. I'm going to have these brothers butt heads. I'm going to have this husband and wife get into it. I'm going to see if my servant is going to forgive him. You never know, man, how Satan and the Most High had the conversation. Hast thou considered my servant Job? And then Satan may be like, hey, look, let me go and cause a conflict between them, and he's going to hold a grudge and sin against you. Right? Reading on. To whom ye forgave anything, I forgive also. For if I forgave anything, to whom I forgave it for your sakes, forgave I it in the person of Hamashiach. Here's the point. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices. Satan getting an advantage of you is not always talking about the live stream cutting down, or a lust demon hopped on you. Keep it in its proper context. Satan getting an advantage on you is hardening your heart and making you not want to forgive your brother. You got to check that, man. Satan's trying to get an advantage of me. Anytime you're holding a grudge and you're not letting it go immediately, or for the sun go down or whatever, as soon as possible, Satan has you, man. But you got it, King.
Con, and when Satan has you, you're in captivity, man.
Yep.
He can shake you to and fro. He can manipulate you. You're literally a pawn, man, in his hand. And he's going to control you and do God knows what to you, man. Right, but let me get this precept. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse number 2, right? And it reads, and she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of the sheep. Now, there's no account of Abel asking the Most High to be a keeper of the sheep in the third heaven. And the Most High will say, okay, well, you got it. No, everything's predestined, man. You may have somebody that's has more wisdom than you. You may have somebody that could prophesy and you could just teach. You may have somebody that could remember the precepts and you don't, man. You can have a sister, she may know how to sew and make garments, but that wasn't given to you. You know how to cook. Hey, what the Most High gives somebody, you can't be jealous of that, man. And have that the thing to overthrow you, man. If the Most High give this brother understanding and prophecy, teaching, and the gift of the tongues, and the Most High only gave me faith, all praise to the Most High that I have something, man. You understand? You can't have a jealous spirit. And jealous creates envy. And once you start to envy a brother, you start to covet what he has. Once you start to covet what he has, you're in sin. And the Lord can kill you and overthrow you, man. Right? It says, Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And that's all spiritual. No Jacob and Esau. Abel, you understand, keeping the sheep, right? The flock. And Cain, he was on the ground from the foundation of the earth, man, sitting in the dust. It says, and in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. So essentially, what did Abel do to Cain, huh? Where's the account that Abel went off, he stole from? Where's the account that Abel, he did God knows what, man? It's not in there. This man was innocent, and he didn't do anything. Somebody may just have a light that shines, man, and people hate on that. Oh, this nigga think he all that. Or he may have a new garment on. This brother always got the garments, man. Who he think he is, man? This nigga, man. Or this brother always want to say this and say that and get all deep. Or this sister always thinks she could cook, right? Always want to bring the food on a feast day. Just hating, man. Hey, the Lord gave somebody a talent and a spirit of a light that shines. All praise to the Most High. You can't be jealous and envy, which essentially is going to lead to a death, man. This man killed Abel all out of jealousy, man. and envy and hatred for his own blood brother, man. It says, and Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and of the Lord, and the Lord had respect unto Abel. Now, Abel's spirit, when he was bringing up this offering, wasn't that I'm going to outdo Cain.
Right.
You know, I'm better than Cain. He wasn't even thinking about him, huh? I mean, people not even thinking about you. You may say something, and then somebody, is he talking about me? Yeah, I kind of heard him say something.
Right.
Talking about me. Next thing he says, an uproar, man. When nobody's been thinking about you.
Right.
It says, unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shouldest not thou be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. So essentially, the Most High, while Yahushua gave him an opportunity and told him, plant upon tables, look, you got sin lying at the door, man. And we know sin is lying at the door when we go off. When our minds start to get trapped by the spiritual demon Satan. We know what's on the other end of that door. It's not lollipops and candy and a good time, man. It's death. It's falling out the truth. It's 7 other demons behind that door, man. It says what? And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Now, what does that mean, man? If you essentially go past that door and what's beyond it, and I mean, Satan will rule over you, man. And Satan doesn't take any breaks. You know, whether you sleep in the middle of the night, when you're in the bathroom, you're at work, you're talking to somebody, you're trying to listen, you're trying to read, Satan is going to plague your mind. It says, and Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. So nobody knows this conversation, but we know through the spirit it was subtle. He let him out there. He manipulated him and had him to feel like there was brotherly love, man. That everything was going to be all right. So they got deep in the field, and he slew him all through hatred and holding a grudge, man. You got to let that thing go, man. Essentially, we know Cain is the wicked, but nevertheless, these counts are written for our learning sake, man. You, for your brother, whatever's going on, you got to forgive that, man. Because if you don't, essentially, the Lord's going to give you over to that. Sin is right behind the door. He's going to rule over you, and then you could rise up and kill your brother. You could steal from him, right? You can lie and murmur. You can start to, on a very, very low level, start talebearing. Yeah, he did do that. I heard about that, too. You heard about that? Next thing you know, you feed in a brother's ear that may not even know this brother. Now you're manipulating his mind, and that spirit hopping on him. Next thing you know, that can ruin the whole congregation.
Okay. Yeah, and that, I mean, that's a heavy demon, man. Right? Let me get this quick precept, right? This is Job, right? Job chapter 5 and 1. It reads, call now if there be any that will answer thee, and to which of the saints without turn. For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one, man. Envy is a demon that can kill you, right? It's more than just people you watch the TV shows, you turn green and sit up there and hey, no, it's an actual demon that can slay you. Hey, the Lord called you silly, man. Foolish. Because what are you envious, like you were going into, man? A brother could be envious about another brother's gifts, but they're too busy giving their strength over to that demon that they're not even accessing the gifts the Most High gave them, man. You might have spiritual gifts and spiritual things that could benefit the ministry too, but you're too busy worried about this brother, or you're too busy worried about this sister, man. Right? That's not going to profit you. You are not even taking. You're too busy. 30 minutes every half of your damn day, you're just looking at this brother's post. Here he go again. This brother has 5. People get envious over damn followers, man. I mean, how carnal is that? This sister got damn 5,000 followers. I only got 2,000. But I'm a righteous sister. What makes her have more followers than me? I deserve more followers. Brothers do that same effeminate spirit too, man. They liked his post, but they didn't like my post. My post had a deep breakdown. His post just had so-and-so. And then brothers over the damn post, man. Now every time you see that brother on social media, you just scroll past it. Then you end up, I hate this thing. Then you start blocking them, huh? Let me get this precept. First Samuel chapter 18 and verse 6. And it came to pass as they came when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. So, hey man, imagine, you had a feast day, right? There's no married woman. You walk in and all of the women kind of, oh, there go Ryan. And then you walk in, you don't get no love, right? Jake, how I feel when they don't get no love, man. You don't get no play. You don't get no love. You don't get no attention. You kind of just sipping your, kind of doing this, man, right? And all of the, oh, right, that was a good breakdown. Oh, I love that video you did. Oh, you shot, and you just sitting in the back not getting no love. Keep doing this, right? Hey, putting the spirit on you, man. You just got that big bottle of water, and you keep taking that sip. You might go get some chips and dip, right? Kind of act like you eating something. You might kind of go act like you on the phone. Jake, you always act like you on the phone, man. Start scrolling, right? But then that demon is just eating you up, man. Just eating you up. A woman walk up to you, and you finally think she's going to say something to you. Salakia, Naquam, where is Ariah? And that just blows you up, man. She just says, where is Ariah? You thought it was finally time. You put your water down, man. And the spirit put the Most High used those women to put a spirit on Saul, man. Some brothers be jealous over a damn woman, man. She ain't like my post. Why she with this brother? I know more breakdowns, right? I know more precepts. I've been studying 3 hours today. He don't deserve her. You got brothers like that, man. Then to put a spit. Now you in her inbox. That brother, he ain't right. I got something I got to tell you. That's all you say. I got something I got to tell you about him. Right? Look, we need to talk. Just planting seeds of discord and confusion, man. Now, look what happened when a woman, it was a woman that did that in the camp. I'm not going to bring the story out. Not in the camp, but a woman was listening to brothers teach, and he kind of did this, man. I'm not going to go into it, but, it happened, man. And it could put a spirit on a brother, right? It reads, I'm going to read that again, 1 Samuel 18:7. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth. And he's the king, man. What are you wroth for? You're the king. Right? But sometimes Jake is not enough, man. What you have is not enough. It reads, and the saying displeased him, and he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed 1,000s. What can he have more? And what can he have more but the kingdom? So his mind is bad, right? His mind is bad. And saw I David from that day forward. Now I put a spirit on you. Now you they call it cutting your eyes at David, man. Who this nigga think he is, man? Yeah, he slew Goliath, but I slew men too. Right? And it put a spirit on him. And it tell you that in the next verse. And it came to pass on the morrow, just like that, tomorrow, that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as with other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. See that? So it put a spirit on him to want to kill his brother, man. Over what a woman said or women said, man. That's off, man. That even applies to sisters. You have Rachel who envy her sister, man. Tell you that in Genesis chapter 30:1. Rachel envied Leah because Leah was pregnant and Rachel couldn't get pregnant. The Lord closed her womb. Why she get all these children? I don't have no children. How come she's married? She looks so happy in all her posts. She can't be that happy. Right? What are you talking about, sister? Life isn't that good. You know, she always make it seem like she, like that hating spirit, man. She always make it seem like everything's pitch perfect. Then she posts herself having a good time. You texting her the curses. Deuteronomy. Don't remember, we're on to Deuteronomy chapter 28, 15 through 68. Remember that. Remember, we in captivity. Just scoffing and jealous, man. Who are you to have fun? Just looking for anything to nitpick now, man. Then you end up stalking. David, it's like your Saul started stalking David. Next thing you know, you following that brother home. You all salute each other at the end of camp, right? He gets in the car, you wait with your headlights off, he peel off, you follow without your headlights on, man. Telling him, he takes a right, you take a right. He take a left, you take a left. He pull up to the driveway, you stop kind of down the street. Kind of just looking at him, right? You know? So you got to check that spirit, man. You got it, King.
Hey, that remind me of damn Paid in Full, man.
Yeah.
Who had, I don't know the dude name. Damn Rico called him Kermit the Frog, but damn he was Ace.
Oh
Boogie.
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he was the man before. You know what I'm saying? He got locked up. Then he came home. You know, Ace Boogie was the man, and he was trying to get put on, and he ain't put him on, and you know that jealousy spirit hopped on him, and all hell broke loose, man. You know. Long story short, man, you gotta watch the movie. Right, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 2. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly. So this thing didn't happen in a matter of seconds. This thing was thought out, bro. Meaning this thing had to be resting on these men for a minute. I'm gonna start at 16 and 1. Now, Keturah, the son of Ezyar, the son of Keturah, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, and the sons of Eliba, and On, the sons of Pilath, the sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses. So these men essentially had a grudge and a hatred toward Moses, man, because Moses was on fire, man. The people loved Moses, and Moses had the congregation. With certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. Right? So these men, this didn't happen in a second, man. Meaning this was a plot that came together of hatred. No, I'm sick of Moses. I'm sick of him too, man. Who you think he is? There's other princes out here. There's other men that could lead. And who you think? Yeah, man, let's pull up on him, man. It says, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron and said unto them, ye take too much upon you. Imagine 250 brothers pulling up on you, man, and saying, look, bro, you teaching too much. Let somebody else get in there. Not one by one, but the whole, what they call them, a damn entourage, man. Them 250 men pulling up on you, man. And say somebody want this parking space. Then 250 men pull up on you. That could scare anybody, man. What the hell is going on? It's kind of like you trying to threaten me without saying that. You trying to pull it up with a million people, man. It says, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron and said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves. There's no account of Moses lifting up himself. Where is that at, man? Moses was the meekest man on earth. So this was an evil suspicion, an evil judgment, and an evil demon spirit that hopped on these men, man. The hatred of Moses. What did Moses do other than righteousness, man? He wrote down the law, you understand? He came before the Most High while Yahweh Shah through the dispensation of angels, right? The Most High used him as a vessel and the shepherd and a leader, right? Moses, he was on fire, man. Consecrated Aaron, set up the priesthood. I mean, it's nothing I can say, man, right? I mean, we all fall short. You know, he smoked the rock, but nevertheless, this man, he was blameless, man. So for them to come up with these accusations and these evil spirits, it was nothing but hatred and envy toward Moses. Right. It says, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore, then lift ye up the congregation of the Lord. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. Meaning he said, look, man, I don't want no problems, man. All praise to the Most High. Fall down. How many brothers? I mean, a lot of brothers, if that would have happened, man, they be like, who the hell you think you is? Or they would have pulled up, or you couldn't see me on the one-on-one. It would have immediately got carnal. You talking about Jake here. This isn't the so-called white man. This isn't a Chinese man, man. We're talking about Jake. Let you pull up on Jake with more than 2 people, man. They're gonna feel threatened. Then they're gonna go home, they're gonna make a phone call, and all hell was gonna break loose, man. These men pulled upon Moses, over 200 of them, and he bowed down and called upon the name of the Lord, man. That's very meek, humble, and lowly. And what did the Most High do? The Most High killed those men. The Most High killed those men because they had hatred in their hearts. They bucked up against Moses, and they essentially bucked up against the Most High. So whatever's going on, you can't pull that type of spirit. Oh yeah, well, you know, this person, these puffing themselves up. This person feels high and mighty. Well, this person this person that. You got to repent, man. You got to take that back and rebuke that evil spirit, man. The Lord said, let me pull this quick precept in Wisdom of Solomon. And this is one of the precepts I go to all the time because it essentially keeps me in the spirit with my thoughts constantly, man. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 16. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, sheweth herself favorable unto them, Salaki, in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. So wisdom's going to meet you at every thought. So if I'm thinking about something and I know it isn't of Yahushua, I know it's folly, man. I know it's foolishness. If I think too long about a subject, if Satan tries to manipulate my mind on a matter, you know, if I start to feel a certain way about a subject that doesn't even need my thinking and my thoughts and my spirit to give heed unto, I understand immediately that it's a spiritual demon Satan. Because wisdom's going to meet you at every thought. So if you're thinking things that aren't biblical, you're thinking things that aren't not of the Lord, that aren't true, through a suspicion, through an evil judgment, you understand, through emotions that could overthrow your judgment, all of these things are going to play forth through your fruit, man. And what are you going to be? You're going to be in sin. And what did the Most High do to those men? It's verse 30. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertaineth unto them, and they go down quickly into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. They didn't beat Moses with a bat, man. They didn't shoot archers at him. They bucked up against them through hatred and envy, man. And you got to understand how deep that is. Stop putting one sin upon another. Well, I didn't commit adultery. I didn't kill anybody. It's just I get over that thought. Don't brush that thing off, man, because that thing is going to grow. It's going to grow, and it's going to destroy you.
And I want to just get the classic, man. This is how you deal with a matter. For brothers that don't know, this is how you deal with a situation, right? Matthew chapter 18 and verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. So, I mean, that's plain, right? If I have an ought against Uriah, I have Uriah's phone number, right? I could call him, right? See the brother, you know, multiple times throughout the week. I could talk to the brother in person. You got brothers and sisters in Israel making posts. They call it, what was that, sub tweeting, something like that. Yeah, damn, you're making a post about a brother, you know, a video, a 4-hour video. Right? If you have a fault with a brother, talk to that brother, man. Y'all alone. Not you got somebody else on the other line. And they just hop in out of nowhere. Yeah, because I feel this way too. Man, like, hold up, man. You know, then you got brothers who hold on to it for months and months and months and months, man. And then they put a spirit on them. And then he starts spreading that word to other brothers, and it's all an evil suspicion. So you have to let that brother know between him and him alone. And stop being scared to say something, man. Well, I don't know. They might not like me. Well, I don't want to. Well, that's your first problem, man. Right? That's your first problem. Let me get this precept. And Deuteronomy, the first chapter. Well, I don't know how they're going to take it. Right? I don't know, man. They might not. What if they don't? Well, you never know, brother. What if they don't? They want to not be friends? Well, so what? You got to let this be known, man. The Lord said, love thy own soul too, man, and comfort thy heart. You got to, this is about getting your spirit right, man. I don't care who feels what about it. If a brother did something, he offended me, I'm going to let that brother know. Right? This Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse I'm going to start at 17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man. Let me read that again. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. And you can't be afraid of the face of man. Well, that brother is tall. It's a lot of brothers that know this guy. Maybe it's really my fault. I'm stupid. I just better the truth for 1 month. He's always right. Right? I just have to take that on the chin. Oh, this sister, she's famous in Israel. Who am I to say anything? What will people think of me? Right? They're all going to say, hey, so what, man? So what? And the Lord said, and let me get this precept real quick in the book of Sirach, right? This is Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 22, right? So like, let me get this in Sirach chapter 22, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let me get this account. Right, this is Ecclesiasticus. So like, bear with me. Want to make sure I got this exact account. Right, so you want to, move in wisdom in this thing. Sirach chapter 20, Salakia, and verse 22. There is that, Salakia, Sirach 20 and 22. There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness, and by accepting a person's overthroweth himself. You can overthrow yourself, man. And if you're too shy, you can destroy your own soul. You got brothers that just bold when they getting on Esau, bold getting on the Moabites, shaking the hand, deepest voice, bold at camp. Give me Deuteronomy chapter so-and-so. Give me the book of Revelation so-and-so, right? Hey, Esau, bow down. And they getting on the nations. But now it comes to their brother, they don't have that same spirit, man. How are you bold to get on your enemy and not bold to apply the precepts towards your brother? That's off. You can't just be bold towards the so-called white man. And you shy when your brother come around, I don't want to say nothing to him, but you saying something to Esau. You a hypocrite, man. You are a straight out hypocrite. And I'm going to tell you straight, look, you're effeminate, man. There's other words we could use, right? But that's effeminate. You getting on Esau all day for 5 hours straight at camp, and then your brother step on your shoes, look you in the eye, but I don't know. I'm gonna say nothing to the brother, right? I don't know how he's gonna handle that one, right? You gotta say this to your brother, man, between you and him alone. You gotta stir up that courage. Hey, brother, look, can I talk to you for a minute? Here, brother, let me talk to you for a second. I don't like the way that you did A, B, and C. Here's a scripture. So when you talk to your brother, you don't have to be emotional, balling up your fist, kind of sizing them up. You're supposed to talk to your brother according to wisdom and patience and meekness, right? It says, between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, take with thee one, this Matthew 18 and 16. But if he will not hear thee, take with thee one or two more. That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established, man. Hey, this brother might offend a lot of people, man. A lot of people might see this guy going off. But if you're not going to speak up, it'll never get to the point where you have witnesses, man. And this brother might offend a lot of people. And all it takes is one person to stand up. That might put the spirit and courage on another brother. Yeah, brother, you offended me too, man. I ain't gonna hold you. You always do that. You always get drunk and talk. You know what, man? Yeah, but I seen it too, man. I ain't want to say nothing, but now that you think about it, then it kind of bring this truth out. Reading on. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. And I tell you what, man, from my experience, this scripture is not applied in Israel. Not applied. Brothers are scared to address the situation. They're weak in the spirit. They go about things and you'll make a video, a post, a sub this, you'll backbite, You will murmur like the talk shows, like these women in the talk shows, man. You just murmur all day. You make a separate group chat with a few other brothers or a few other sisters, and y'all just talk about this sister and talk about that brother. That's off. And the Most High is going to kill you, man. The Most High is not just killing men that eat pork, right? And women that are whores, man. And men that worship. A lot of people think the Most High is just going to kill Muslims and Christians. But the Most High is going to kill you serving white Jesus. And, hey, he's going to kill you for backbiting, man. And murmuring. And being envious. And not applying this scripture. Stop thinking the only sin is not having fringes on, man. And not growing your beard out. You know? A brother's talking and while a brother's addressing, you pull out your phone, you start texting, here he go again. Here he go. Here he comes up. That's off, man. But you got it, King.
Hey, and like you said, man, that precept is not applied. Brothers have seen multiple accounts of that precept not being applied, man. Through our experience being in the truth through the spirit, man. Right? And you have to apply the precepts. Don't just try to apply eating pork, not eating pork, man. And eating it or you're not eating it. What do I do about it? You had to go to the law. You got to apply multiple precepts, man. You got to apply all the precepts. And if you're not, man, you're overthrowing yourself, man. Because you're scared of another man. And that's essentially what it's boiling down to, man. You know better than those scribes and Pharisees, man. That seen the miracles and still deny. Right? It's the book, right, of Psalms, chapter 101, and verse number 2. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within mine house with a perfect heart. So David said he's going to walk with the Most High with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave unto me. A forward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privately slander his neighbor, him will I cut off. The Lord said, if you privately slander your neighbor, the Lord's going to cut you off, man. And that's not talking about you just sitting up there, you just cussing them out in the dark. You could just small slander your neighbor. Yeah, I don't like him either. Yeah, you know what? You're feeding into that spirit, that seducing spirit that's talking to you, man. Somebody make a joke. Yeah, blah, blah. Yeah, the brother L, yeah, he stink. Yeah, he do, for real. I ain't want to say nothing. You just slandering, man. The Most High now with gossiping and chit-chatting. You might as well go to the salon, man. Right? And sit in the chair. And just just kick your feet up, man. And be at home. The Lord's not with gossiping and chit-chatting and murmuring and disputing and things of that sort, man. It says, whoso have privately slander his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that have an high look and a proud heart will I not suffer. And a lot of men have a proud heart, man. A lot of people, and I've seen this, they won't talk to certain brothers because they don't have the amount of wisdom that somebody else has. I'm only going to salute the elders. I'm only going to salute the men that teach. But the prospects and other men, you know, that's just joining, just getting into the truth, I don't care about those guys. Those guys are random. Or you're not in a congregation, or you're a random. Just a random brother with fringes on. Who are you? What's cometh thou? Where do you come from? You just sitting around. And no, brother, that's an Israelite, man. You don't know how the Most High feels about them. You can't have a proud heart in this thing and be like Uzziah. Have your heart lifted up until your destruction. No matter how much the Most High gives you or how much the Most High have mercy upon you, you can't have your heart lifted up and start privately slandering your neighbor. This side, Sirach chapter 28 and verse number 1. He that revengeth shall find revenge from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. You don't want the Most High to keep your sins in remembrance, man. If it's one thing you don't want, it's the Most High to remember all your wickedness. Because we drink iniquity like water, like it's in Job, the 15th chapter, verse 14 all the way down, man. You drinking iniquity right now. You may be battling whether I'm going to cut the live off because I'm getting cut. You may be battling what you're going to do later on the night. You know, should I read or should I go out? You're battling sins and spirits and all type of demons constantly, man. And the thought of foolishness is sin. So we go off constantly as a people, man. You don't want the Most High to hold all your sins, all your whoremongering, all your stealing, all your backbiting, right? All your lying and your thievery, all your rebellion, all your vanity, man, all your slothfulness, all the times you didn't read and picked up your phone, all the times you neglected your wife and picked up a bottle, right? You murmured against your brother and had a conversation with Satan. If the Most High would essentially remember all of our sins, man, we would all be destroyed. So what do we have to do as a nation? We have to forgive our brothers so the Most High can forgive us. It's just that simple. It's not an in-depth, secret, dark parable breakdown, man. Forgive your brother and your sister. And if you don't, the Most High is not going to forgive you. All that praying, all that fasting, it would be for naught. It says, forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee. So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. One man beareth hatred against another, and doeth he seek pardon from the Lord? And you gotta read that in the spirit, man. I mean, the Lord, like, are you serious? You think that you're gonna sit here and have hatred for your brother and talk about him and hate him? And you think I'm gonna forgive you and hear your prayer, man? The Lord's not dealing with that, man. You have to be pure and upright and perfect when you come to the Lord. The Lord's not accepting an off sacrifice. You know, the lamb, he has 2 broken hip bones, but he has nice hair. It's nice and kinky. So I'm going to deliver him up anyway. We're the sheep. And it's literally a spiritual altar. And we come before the Lord constantly. We give sacrifices. If our sacrifices have any blemish, any ought, you understand, or they're not acceptable or perfect before the Lord, we will be killed. The Lord's not accepting that, man. It says this: he sheweth no mercy to a man which is like unto himself, and doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins? If he is but flesh nor hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins? Remember thy end. So the Lord is saying, remember your end. Your end could be death. Your end could be destruction, man. Remember and see what the Most High can do to you. Remember thy end and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death and abide in the commandments. I mean, to understand that the Most High is the King of terrors, man. I've seen many people fall out the truth out of a grudge and hatred, man. Brother may not like something going on in the congregation, and then he leave. I'm out of here, man. They fake. Whatever. They spirit hop on. Now, next thing you know, they start to wax worse. They start watching the videos. They pick up the cigarettes. They pick up the blunt. They start murmuring. Oh, yeah, that camp spirit. I never liked camps anyway. Now you just wax worse and worse and worse, man. All because of hatred. So essentially, brothers and sisters got to be on fire for the Lord, and it comes with discernment, man. The more discernment you have, the more wiser you could be and prudent in matters. But the less discernment you have, you can't chalk everything up to emotions. Yeah, I've been feeling that way too. No, brother, that's a spirit. Oh, yeah, whatever. No, I'm not justified and I could do that. Don't chalk everything up and be justified in your mind. Like the Lord said, let me get this quick precept. Matter of fact, you got it. I'm going to pull this precept, but you got it. That's why
I'm going to get this. While you look for that, I'm going to go to the book of Acts. Right, this is a well-known account, right? A well-known account. This Acts 7 and verse 8. I'm gonna get 2 quick precepts. All right, so brothers gotta check their spirit, man. Right, brothers gotta check their spirit. This is the book of Acts, chapter 7 and verse 9. And the patriarchs moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt, but God was with him. So Joseph's brothers did move with envy, man, because the Most High was dealing with Joseph on a particular level that he wasn't dealing with his brother with, man. And that came to the visions of dreams. And the Most High put a particular spirit on Jacob to show favor towards Joseph, man. And that put a spirit on his brothers, and they plotted to murder him, but then they ended up selling him, man, essentially. Now, Joseph, I'm not going to read the entire book of Genesis, right? You read the book of Genesis, and Joseph had the ability to kill them, huh? He could have had them starve out during the famine. He could have arrested them and locked them up forever, right? He could have did anything he wanted to do, huh, to his brothers. But what did Joseph do at the end of the day? This Genesis chapter 45 and verse 1. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all of them that stood by, and he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud And the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph, doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold in Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither, for the Most High did send me before you to preserve life. So Joseph had a spirit in him to actually forgive his brothers, man. And he sustained them. He gave them the best land. He gave them bread. He gave them drink. He gave them food. He supplanted the Egyptians and told them, say that you're shepherds so you can have the great land. You know, the Most High was working on Joseph to be that example on how to truly forgive your brother. Imagine somebody sold you. I mean, equivalent now, you know, they did whatever to you. Now you locked up unjustly. Now you doing 5 years in prison, federal prison, over what somebody did to you. Man, a lot of brothers, they hold on to that, man. They in prison doing push-ups, thinking about this brother, plotting on what they're going to do to him. Every day they're thinking of another revenge plot. You got people that do that, man. They sit there and think about plots on how they're going to pay somebody back, right? Or what they're going to do when they meet that person. Joseph, when it was all said and done, he showed that forgiveness, man. Even though his brothers was envy with him or envious of him. And that's the spirit that we have to move in. I got another quick precept. This is Matthew chapter 5, right? First, let me get this real quick. This 1 Corinthians chapter 3, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 1. It reads, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach. So the apostle Paul told the church of Corinth, I want to get deep and show you particular things, but I can't. You're not going to grow and get it, right? He's going to tell you why. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. So he said, I gave you the easy things, the foundation. I can't get too deep with you, right? You're not going to be able to retain the knowledge that I want to give you. And I'm going to tell you what, for ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? Now, guess what? You're wondering why you're not growing, why you're still dealing with these demons, why you're still dealing with that weed demon, that lust spirit. You're praying or you're fasting, you're calling upon the name of the Most High, you're smoking your chest, you have sackcloth on and ashes, and you're wondering why that demon isn't leaving you. You're reading the book of Mark, the 9th chapter. You're hearing about prayer and fasting and how those spirits leave. And Tobit 12 and 8, prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. And you're wondering why that demon isn't leaving you, or why you can't seem to grow, or why the precepts don't stick to you, and why you're not really on a level where you should be, man. Because you have that spirit on you, man. You still have envy in your heart, man. You're still envious at brothers. You will never grow. Even sisters, you're never going to grow, man. The Most High is never going to unlock your full potential because you're too busy holding on to these demons, man. You're just full of demons. And you're acting like you're righteous, man, because you have your fringes on and your hair wrapped, man. Or you brothers got your beard on and you ordered your apocrypha. That don't make you righteous. Having a Bible and an apocrypha, I don't know if somebody needs to tell you, but that don't make you a man of the Lord, man. Right? Or having an excellent memory, or a long staff, or an ancient Bible, or the longest beard, that don't make you a man of the Lord, man. Or a damn, you have the most views. A lot of brothers, you in this thing for views, man. Or sisters, you in this thing for likes, man. I'm gonna create this whole thing, see who get the most likes. You checking your video every 5 seconds to see if you got one more view. You checking your post every 30 minutes to see who liked it. You clicking on the likes. You're going down all the list. She didn't like it. She a hater. All right. She know she like this. She know that look good. Right? That's off, man. That's why you're not growing. That's why you're still dealing with these demons, man. And the Most High is jamming you up. The Lord said, you're not going to be able to get the meat or grow in this thing because you can't even get over your grudge, man, and strife and envy. The Lord said, are ye not carnal and walk as men? Right? Another quick precept. Right? This the classic. 1 Peter chapter 2 and 1. Right? These are the things that we need to know, man. 1 Peter 2 and 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So you're not going to get the milk unless you can lay aside the envy, man, and the strife and the grudges, man. You're handicapping yourself. You're handicapping yourself, man. You're stunning your growth. And this thing, they say, cigarettes, coffee, certain things, it stunts your growth, right? And you're making that decision to continue indulging those things, wondering why you're not on where you should be, man. You're literally stunning your growth, committing spiritual suicide, breaking yourself down, man. This is why you can't grow. This is why you don't understand the scriptures. This is why that weed demon is destroying you, man. Because you still have strife and envy. This is why you can't excel past that hump and move up and level up in this thing, man. Because you have convinced yourself in your mind that that you're right and that the scriptures are wrong, and you're a walking hypocrite, man. So you got to ask yourself, well, why am I not growing? Why am I not on the level? I see all these brothers, they waxing strong. These sisters, they waxing strong. Seem like, man, I can't get. Well, brother, maybe you got these demons on you need to get rid of. Right, damn, this brother, man, he been in this thing 1 year. He's on fire. What am I doing wrong? I've been in this thing for 4 years. Well, you too busy worried about him, brother. But you got it, King.
Come. And I want to pull this account in Matthew. It's Matthew chapter 26 and verse 47. Matthew chapter 26 and 47. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now he that betrayed them gave them a sign, saying, whosoever I shall kiss, that same is he, hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Yahushua said unto him, Friend. Now, if somebody, overthrew you, gave you over to the so-called opposition, they gave you over to the enemy, they did God knows what, somebody would be yelling, man, you nigga, man, you beep. How could you do this to me? Da-da-da. What if somebody had a mask on, then they revealed the mask, and they're robbing you, man? And they're giving you over to death or the enemy. Or somebody, you hear your back door kick in, man. You see a bunch of people in all black with masks, then they bound you up, and they're about to kill you. And then he take his mask off, man, and he reveal who it is. Now, anybody on earth, damn near, man, there'd be a very, very small remnant. They would have been cussing, spitting in somebody's face. In the movies, they always try to get their last in before they die. They spit in somebody's face. They cuss them out. Try to have one cool movie line before they get smoked, right? They say what they got to say, and then they out of here, man. Who is going to say friend, right? And you felt that when Yahushua said that. Like, damn, you betrayed me. It says, friend, wherefore art thou come? And Yahushua knew that he was going to deliver him, man. Yahushua knew all things. This thing was written all the way in the Psalms. He that eat the prayer with me, man. Right? In Psalm chapter 41. You got Psalm chapter 69. Various other precepts through the Spirit. This was all the way from the time of David prophesying this thing. Yahushua knew this. He knew all things. Yet he called them friend, man. When somebody betray you, overthrow you, manipulate a situation, cast you down, or do God knows what to you, man, you got to have that type of spirit to turn the other cheek, man. And essentially, through the spirit and the faith of the Father, you got to know they're going to get theirs. Not that you lusting and thirsting after them getting put to death or them to be judged. But look, man, it's in the Father's hands. It is what it is, man. And look, man, you stole from me. Hey, it is what you can have it. I'm not about to beat you up, man. I'm not about to fight you. You did God knows what. Hey, man, I'm going to leave that alone, man. For that spirit grow and overthrow both of us, man. And Yahushua said, friend, Wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him, man. So if somebody grabbed you up, and you know who did it, man. And Judas wasn't just an old family friend that you just see once a year. He was one of the 12. He was walking with the Lord, man. Sit down and ate dinner with the Lord. You know how spiritual that is when somebody break bread with you, man. Somebody come to your house, or you come to theirs, and y'all eat together. You laugh, you talk, get to know one another. You grow a stronger relationship as friends, man. And that hurts even more than somebody close from you. Not just somebody close from you, for one of the 12, man, betrayed the Lord, and the Lord still called him friend. And it is what it is, because of course he's going to be destroyed. Of course, his judgments and everything will be brought into remembrance. But the Lord didn't show no grudge spirit. Lord didn't spit on him. The Lord never said, you demon, you devil, and cussed him out, man. The Lord called him friend. So as people try to do God knows what to you, man, you got to leave that thing alone. It's easier said than done, but you know how you do it? By exercising these precepts. There's no other way. By praying, fasting, and exercising these precepts. You're not going to find some hidden thing, man, to tap you, man. You have to apply the precepts. And the more precepts you know, the more you can go over to strengthen your spirit, man. The more you'll be applicable to apply them, by more you know. And I'm going to pull this out in Ephesians. This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse number 28. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands, the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. So the Lord said, don't grieve the Holy Spirit. You know how you grieve your mother? You may call her in the middle of the night all the time. She rushing. Are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything okay? You grieving your father, right? You keep calling him, asking him for money. You're just grieving him, man, making him upset. You can grieve the Holy Spirit. You can start to abuse the mercy of the Most High. And the Holy Spirit will get grieved, man. You know, if you have a wife, you know, and you keep grieving her, and you're making her do God knows what, or you're doing this, you're doing that, people get grieved. And that overthrows something. They'll make somebody want to walk away or give up. You don't want to grieve the Holy Spirit, man. Next thing you know, you're going off, you're abusing grace, you're not forgiving, you know the precepts, you know what to do, you know how to fast, you're just not applying it. You're rolling around in the dust and the dirt, man. You're going back to that vomit. You're going back to that old man and the manipulations of the mind to sift you, to have you to do God knows what, man, instead of standing true. It says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and calamity and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted. And that's hard to be tenderhearted sometimes, man. Hey, Paul said he treated the church like a newborn baby, man. Let me get that quick precept. So Paul was tenderhearted, man. Right? He didn't act, you know, like overthrowing everybody. You gotta be tenderhearted sometimes, man. It's not all about swinging a damn axe all the time. You have to exercise patience. You have to exercise love. You have to exercise the fruits of the Spirit. You got to know how to forgive. You understand? This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 7. But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherisheth her children. And if a nurse is taking care of children, you don't take the baby and throw it over your damn shoulder and start beating it on his back, man, for a burp. You take the baby, you gentle, you lay it over, and you pat, man. You be gentle to the baby. Because essentially, you have certain people in the truth, they're newborn babies, man. You can't be slinging precepts around and destroying them. And I didn't even know that was a precept. I don't know what's going on. And you sift them out the truth. Or you're not gentle unto your wife and overthrow the whole marriage, man. Because you want to pull wicked woman precepts when all she did was drop a dish, man, by accident in the kitchen. Now you're pulling precepts on her. You're saying, look, this sewing is not neat. It's supposed to be up and down. You see the damn thing on it. You see number 4, right? They got the damn sewing machine. You see number 4, how number 4 is supposed to look. And then it's all out of tact. Now you're getting on her. You got to be tenderhearted, man. Your children, you know, they're reading, but they got a word wrong. And no, man. The children of the Lord, they're supposed to do it like this. Sometimes you got to exercise patience, man, and be kind and tenderhearted, right? Going back to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 32. Be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Yahweh's sake have forgiven you. And the Lord forgave us for some dirty sins, man. I mean, if everybody were to know all of their sins, they would faint, man. And that's literally going to come in the second wilderness. You think you're evil. You think you went off. You don't know the half of the thoughts you thought, man, and the things you've done, right? I was talking to my father a while ago, and he sent me some pictures, man. Me and him going fishing, and I don't even remember that. So I mean, he's sending pictures and stuff. I don't even remember this. I'm a kid. I'm like, well, damn, man, I don't even remember that, man. You may see an old picture of yourself. You don't even remember you having a damn blue jumpsuit on, man, right? Holding a candy bar. So it's so much stuff we've done and so much things that we've been through in life, especially in sin, that if the Most High will hold over us, I mean, nobody would be able to stand. Nobody would be able to breathe or to be able to speak, man. That's why we have to exercise forgiveness in one another as Yahweh forgave us.
God. And I want to get this account. This is 1 Samuel chapter 25, right? Show you the exact opposite of being tenderhearted and kind one to another, man. Right? This 1 Samuel chapter 25 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 8, right? Ask thy young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes, for we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand, and to thy servants, and to thy son David. So that was humbling, man. David put these words in his servant's mouth to be able to ask for victuals and provisions for King David. David was out there protecting the Baal's possessions, sheep, and servants in the wilderness, man. Without pay, without even saying anything, he was simply already just looking out, man, for his brother. He didn't know Nabal. You understand? He didn't go, hey, look, Nabal, look, look, I want a few talents. I want a few shekels. Me and my men, we're going to be out here. We watching over you. He could have strong-armed him, man. David was more stronger than David, man. It's like David was stronger than Nabal. You understand? David was on a higher level than Nabal. David is simply off of brotherly love, protecting Nabal's possessions, man, and his men. So, David is saying, hey, at least can we have a few victuals, right? We've been looking out for you. Look, you didn't need to know, but look, please just give us a little something. It reads, and when David's young men came, they spake, and David called himself son, man. How humbling is that? He said, for thy son David. And David was anointed king. And 1 Samuel 16 chapter, he called himself son, for thy son David. How many brothers would do that, man? Look, for thy son so-and-so, man. That's how humble he went for his brother. It reads, and to thy son David, and when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all the words and the name of David, and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, who is David? Now, everybody knew who David was, man. Everybody knew who David was. He slew Goliath. He was a captain in Saul's army, a man of valor, a man of might. Who is David? Basically, I'm not going to he basically said to hell with David, man. And not so many words. Who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? So he knew who he was, man. Who is the son? They didn't say, look, David, the son of Jesse. He knew who this man was, man. They didn't say, look, David, the son of Jesse, so-and-so, right? It reads, and who is the son of Jesse? Right? Madness. It reads, there be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. Right? Called him a slave on the loose. And David is a king. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shears and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be? So he said, look, I don't have to give David a damn thing, man. It's for me. Me and mine, me and my folk. Right? For my shears, my people, my brethren. And you got brothers like that, man. Right? You got brothers like that. Oh, I ain't helping that brother. He ain't in my camp. Oh, he don't teach what we teach. You see a car coming against a brother that teaches that, damn, I don't know, whatever doctrine, right? Let's say he teach the Sabbath is on another day. You see a truck coming, you say, he ain't in my camp, and the brother get hit by a car. And you start praising the name of the Lord. The brother starving to death with fringes on, right? Literally starving, worn, torn. And the first thing you ask him was, what's the mark of the beast? Right? What's the name of the Lord? Looking down on him. Please just give me, I need one precept. One. Just one scripture to help me. I'm down. I want to lose it. I'm going to lose it all. I want to get off the earth. I want to be gathered to my fathers. And you just look down at the brother. You ain't in my camp, right? You ain't in my household. The hell with you, man. That's what Nabal said to David. Now, and David, this verse 13, 1 Samuel 25 and 13. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff. So David has 600 men with him, man. David was doing this pro bono, looking out for David Nabal free of charge. He didn't ask anything, man, just for a little bread and a little water, man. And a brother might ask you for counsel, precepts, maybe knowledge, just to talk, just to be there for him, man. Right? And here you are being one of those selfish type of brothers, man. Keeping the wisdom to yourself, keeping the knowledge to yourself, keeping the victuals to yourself, keeping the goods to yourself. Now, I'm not going to read this whole chapter, but Nabal ended up dying. The Most High killed Nabal for that, man. Because Abigail, his wife, who was a virtuous woman, this is a deep chapter right here, right? This is a very heavy chapter. His woman ended up telling David not to avenge yourself, because the brother might go off and might put a spirit on you, but you got to check that spirit, man. Because David was about to sin and avenge himself on Nabal, right? But the Most High could have a situation like that where a brother or sister could offend you just to see what you're going to do. Nevertheless, David's wrath was appeased due to Abigail being the mediator. And then Abigail went and told Nabal while he was feasting like a king that he was about to get put to death, and his heart became a stone and he dropped dead. He dropped dead simply off of his words, man. Simply off of the words that he spoke. He didn't go to war with David. He didn't commit adultery. He didn't murder anybody in cold blood. And he didn't steal, man. There's no account of him breaking the Sabbath, right? Or not. And he simply returned harsh words to his brother, man. That's all he did, right? And that was enough for the Most High to kill him. Because at the end of the day, like we were going into, you don't know who the hell you're talking to, man. Straight up and down. You know who you're talking to, right? You might be talking to a brother. He might be the Apostle John back on the earth, man. Your woman might be Mary, the mother of our Lord. And you just beating up Mary, the mother of the Lord, man. Going to town on her. Verbally abusive to Martha. Verbally, just belittling Judith. Right? Yoking her up. Because she burnt the unleavened bread, like the brother was saying, man. These things happen in Israel, man. And then the Most High killed Nabal for that. Let me get this precept in 1 Samuel chapter 3. Right? You got to, and let me get this verse in Proverbs 18. Right? This Proverbs chapter 18. A lot of brothers don't know how to talk to brothers, man. Simple as that. Right? This 1 Samuel 18 and 24. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. So a lot of brothers can't even apply that precept, man. Every time a brother salutes you, you mean mugging him. right? A sister can't say shalom without you kind of saying something slick. A brother can't damn greet you and give you the dap, man, because you think you over this brother. And you have to show yourself friendly in this room, man. You don't have to put on this facade. You're not Yahweh Shai, man. You got brothers that come in this thing, they think that they're Yahweh Shai. Oh, I'm an austere man. Whatever. Brother, that's not you, brother. You know that's not you, man. Stop pretending. You're not austere, brother. You don't have to force that, man. A lot of people come into this truth and you want to, pretend you're somebody, man. You wonder why nobody wants to be around you. You're wondering why you're not invited at the feast days. You're wondering why they're making separate group chats without you, right? You're wondering why your woman don't want to deal with you, right? You're wondering why, damn, nobody wants to be around you. When you come in the room, everybody leaves because you walk in a room like this. Sizing everybody up, man. Trying to debate and go into all of the breakdowns. What's Daniel 9 going into? I've been in the truth 4 years. What about you? Right? Or you one of them uppity sisters, man. Where you feel like you're above everybody. You might have been in this thing a few more years, and now you're better than everybody. And everybody's supposed to cater to you. Yeah, I've been in this truth 15 years. These other sisters, you're beneath me. Right? You're beneath me. I make unleavened bread better than you. I've been doing this better than you. I've been in this thing. I know all about this thing. And then you can't show yourself friendly, man. Now no sister wants to be around you. Now, again, same thing with brothers. They're making separate group chats without you. You're not invited to particular feast days. And you're wondering why. Because you don't show yourself friendly in this thing, man. Brothers, you got to show yourself friendly. And it's all right to laugh with a brother, man. It's all right to dap a brother up, man. Break bread, man. Have a sip of wine with brothers, man. You don't have to pretend you're somebody you're not. Right? This 1 Peter chapter 3. Right? This 1 Peter chapter 3 and 8. Right? 1 Peter chapter 3 and 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. You're commanded to be courteous, man. I mean, that's simple. They tell you that growing up. I mean, they tell you that in elementary school about courtesy, right? I mean, they tell you that in damn growing up, man, how to be courteous. Saying the water. Right? Just simply ate the water for that, man. Or Ayandabar, right? Or whatever the case may be. Hey, brother, no, you go first. Right? It's the last so-and-so, last piece of unleavened bread. Hey, brother, you got it. Nah, nigga, you been in the truth for 1 year. I've been in this thing 5 years. That's mine. Go get in the back seat. Tie my shoes. That's off. The Lord said, be courteous, man. Even the brother said, look, be approachable, man. You don't have to be a standoffish. I don't want to use this word, but a a-hole, man. I'll just put it like that. I'll put it out there. You don't have to be that kind of brother, man. Brutish. Right? Let me get this precept in Sirach, the 4th chapter. Right? This is Sirach, the 4th chapter. Quick precept. Ecclesiastes chapter 4. And I want verse Salakia. Right, bear with me. Let me get this one quick precept. Salakia 4 and 7. Sirach 4 and 7. Get thyself the love of the congregation and bow thy head to a great man. So you're commanded, man. Like the brother said, let your guard down, brother. Brother, every brother doesn't want to hurt you, brother. Hey, every sister's not jealous of you, man. Every brother don't want to take your woman. Every brother don't want to damn overthrow you, brother. There are brothers that actually sincerely want to build a relationship with you, a brotherhood. They're looking for brothers, man. You have sisters that are genuinely just looking for sisters. Be accessible. Be approachable, like the brother said. Hey, get yourself the love of the congregation. Stop being a damn dark cloud in the room, man. And nobody wants to be around you, man. They all leave when you come in and stop talking when you come in. But you know all of the mysteries. Nobody wants to deal with nobody like that, man. You're not going to be someone when you can confide. Nobody wants to confide in you. And all of your wisdom is going to retain to yourself because nobody wants to get counsel from you. You might know it, but nobody wants to deal with you, man. Don't be that brother and don't be that sister, man. Where you puff yourself up and then the Most High shut it down, man. Hey, David had the love of the congregation. Everybody loved David. You know, the apostles had the love of the congregation. You're supposed to get yourself the love of the congregation. And not just in your camp, man. And your congregation, if you are in a camp. You're supposed to network in Israel, man. You got to network in this thing. It might be a brother who know how to fix cars, man. Your car broke it down, but then you would never know, man, because you just keep to yourself. Right? You're never going to the feast days. You're always by yourself. You would never, now your car broke down, now you by yourself in the rain with an umbrella. Oh, what do I do? Hey, Revelation 12 ain't going to help you fix your car, brother. The 70 weeks can't help you with that alternator, man. Oh, let me call that brother. Me and that brother had a good conversation about cars on the new move, man. Right? And that brother's there for you, man. You know, so you want to build that rapport, that relationship. You want to network with brothers. You want to network with sisters. You know, because we're there for one another as a nation, man. You got it, King.
Come on. Some mighty points through the spirit. But I want to get this precept in Sirach, chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at 22. It says, accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. So, you know, on a just balance of that, you know, too, essentially, man, having too much reverence for somebody or something could overthrow you as well, man. Hey, it's a beautiful account when you read Job, the 32nd chapter, which I'm about to read through the spirit, how this didn't happen. You know, Job essentially was speaking proud, and you had somebody younger than Job, he checked him, man. And it don't matter who you are. It don't matter what's going on. You got to stand up for the Lord, man. And don't keep that thing within you. You got a lot of people that are in congregations and have a wicked elder, and they say nothing about it. Scandals, you know, just in clouds. Is it true? Is it not true? I don't know. What do you think? What did you hear? Next thing, it was just murmuring going on, man. You have scandals going on, people going off, adultery behind closed doors, false doctrine being teach, but you moving with the multitude, man. The Lord said, follow not a multitude to do evil in the book of Exodus, chapter 23. So you can't be following sin and wicked men that's going to overthrow you, essentially, man. Stand up for the Lord. Stand up for what's right, man. Who's going to stand up for me against the evildoers, like the Lord said, paraphrasing? So you got to have some type of spirit to where you're going to get overthrown. You want to be a fool, and just because his brother's been in the truth 19 years, you just following him, man. And wherever he goes, you're in his shadow. He's eating pork behind closed doors. He's doing God knows what. His aim is to be like Solomon, have 1,000 wives. And that's what he thinks of, and that's where his mentality is, man. He wants his cake and eat it too. You don't want to move in that spirit. And then what essentially is going to happen by not rebuking or saying something, spirits are going to hop on you, man. You're going to start double thinking and you don't know what to do. It's the book of Job, chapter 32 and verse 2. Then was kindled the wrath of Elud and Salakia, the son of Berechiah, the Bitterite, and the kindred of Ram against Job. Was his wrath kindled because he justified himself rather than God. Now, this man can have two options. He could say, well, Job's an elder. Job's perfect. Let me be quiet in his wrath, man. Or he could have spoke up for the Lord, man. It doesn't matter what's going on. Don't let the reverence of any man overthrow you, man, because that's going to put a spirit on you. It don't matter who this person is, how long they've been in the truth, or what's going on, man. Righteous is righteous. The commandments is the commandments. And this man, he stood up for the Lord. Now, it's a certain way you go about it. You don't take a bat and beat a man and, you know, you go to Deuteronomy 25 and start striking them, right? You do everything in decency and in order. But nevertheless, you don't have those spirits rule over you, man. Because then you might start hating that man. You know, you might start having envy toward that man, and you might start backbiting that man that's over you, or that's so-called an elder or reverence or a prophet or a disciple or whatever the title is thrown upon him, an apostle. And now you start to have some type of feelings toward him and start backbiting him, man, and not speak up for what's righteous and confront that man. And this man, it says his wrath was kindled. Reading on, it says also against his three friends was his wrath kindled. So not only was he mad at Job, he was mad at everybody else for not speaking up. It says because they had found no answer and yet had condemned Job. Now Elihu had waited till Job had spoken because they were elder than he. When Elihu was that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, then his wrath was kindled. And Elihu, the son of Betrayal, the Bizite, answered and said, I am young, and ye are very old, wherefore I am afraid, and durst not shew you my opinion. Look, man, I'm afraid. I'm younger than you. You know, you're older than me. You're an elder. I'm not going to shew my opinion. I said they should speak, and the multitude of years should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty given unto them, which like it giveth them understanding. Great men are not always wise, neither do the age understand judgment. Therefore, hearken to me, and I will shew my opinion. And this is mighty, man. This man could have easily just turned his shoulder, turned the bad eye to judgment, seen something going off or something not right, and not say nothing about it, man. Because you feel like you've only been in the truth 2 years. You're only a soldier, or you're only a prospect, or you're only whatever the case may be, man. Whatever the hell it is on the earth, and I'm only this, and you know, I don't do the things that he does. I don't make videos like who he is, man. I can't speak against him. I can't do that. Yeah, this man, he stood up, man. Hey, look, this is off, and I got to show my opinion and set things righteously. So don't let the reverence of any man overthrow you, man. Because essentially what could have happened is this man could have held all of that in. Then you could start thinking about Job as, he just talking against the Most High. Who you think he is? The spirits start playing on you. When you don't let something out and it's bottled in, it's only going to get worse, man. That one time that brother stepped on your shoe and you didn't talk about it, next week he accidentally, bumped into you and dropped your Bible. Now, I mean, it probably did it on purpose, man. It's about the second time now. Then 3 months later, the brother accidentally, he's talking and he has a lot of zeal and a piece of spit fall on you. You thinking he's this nigga just spit on me, man. I got it. Now you just boiling all of these demons. This brother has no idea you have an art with him, man. And then on the feast day, you get the last scoop, right? Of macaroni and cheese, man. And all hell breaks loose. Bottles flying, uproar. He in rage. And brothers are looking at him like, what the hell is hopped on him, man? Because of those spirits that you've been harboring in for months and months, when you could have spoke up immediately, man. And no matter who that brother is, you can always show your opinion in righteousness, and it shows you how to do it in order. This man didn't just rebuke Job and say, look, you're off, you're wicked, you're this, you're that, you're this. And you just start doing things out of order. He waited till the elders that were over him were finished speaking. He said, I'm kind of uncomfortable, nevertheless, I got to show my opinion. I got to speak up. He spoke up. He got that spirit off of him because he was in rage. This man was kindled in wrath. And if you don't speak, essentially what you're doing is you're holding in that, man. And the Lord said, don't be angry secretly. If you're angry secretly, then, it's only going to wax worse, man. You're going to grow hatred. You're going to grow an evil spirit towards your brother, man. And when you look at your brother, you're supposed to see the Lord. You're not supposed to see a nigga that you have an ought with, man. You're supposed to look at that brother, man. I can't look at that, man. I'm looking at the Lord, man. Because the Lord said, when was I in hunger, man? And I fed thee, man. In the book of Matthew 25, verse 40 all the way down. And that's mighty when you think about it. Because as we give unto our brethren clothes, food, shelter, love, precepts, you understand? All of that we giving back to the Lord. You got it, King. You on mute.
Count the water. Yeah, if a brother's correcting you, hey, take the correction, man. Take the correction, man. Stop being a proud Negro all the time, man. Can't nobody tell you're the only brother that can't be corrected. You're untouchable. Or you're the only sister that's untouchable. Maybe because you've been in this thing for a while, you know, or maybe you've you know, you might know a little bit of something, or you may have some great works so-called behind your name, and now can't nobody tell you nothing. Hey, if somebody corrects you, hey, take the correction, man. You gotta this thing. Let me get this in Proverbs chapter 6. Let me get the classic. A lot of brothers say, nah. You always got something to say, man. You always gotta put your 2 cents in. Well, or you try to bring up something they did. A brother correct you for damn getting drunk on a feast day. You don't take the correction, but then you bring up the time that he spoke over you while you was teaching. And then now you manipulate the situation, and now you want to argue about that. You don't want to accept the fact that you got drunk on the feast day, man. And we have to take the correction, man. Stop manipulating situations. Stop being proud, acting like you ain't hear what's going on. You know, walking away from the correction. Right? This Proverbs chapter 6, man. Right? And anybody can correct you, man. And as corrected Balaam in Numbers the 22nd chapter. And as a beast that he was submissive to him. He was getting rode upon by a man. He said, hold up, look, man. What the hell is going on? You think I'm doing this for no reason? Have I ever done it? And he started leaning on him, man. An ass. Let me get that in Numbers 22. Right? I'm not going to read the whole account. This Numbers chapter 22, man. Right? And I'm going to get straight to the point. All right, this Numbers chapter 22 and 28. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now would I kill thee. So you're getting violent, man. And the ass said unto Balaam, am not I thine ass? Start leaning on him, man. Am not I thine ass? Straight up, man. It reads, upon which thou hast written ever since I was thine unto this day. Was I ever want to do so unto thee? And he said, nay, man. So the ass start bringing out questions. What about this? Have I ever done this? What about this? You know what I'm saying? And the man couldn't say no. He said, nah. You know? So you got to be able to take correction, man. Right? You got to take correction from anybody if they're going through the scriptures. If it's justified in the precepts. If they just speak in their own belly and they have an evil suspicion and overthrew the judgment, or, you know, then you have to apply prudence, right? Or be prudent concerning the matter. But if you went off, brother, you went off. Own it, brother. There is no accountability in Israel, man. You don't want to take it. Yeah, brother, you went off, brother. No, I ain't go off because let me go to this precept, right? And your precept has nothing to do with nothing, brother. Just accept the fact you went off. Well, did you really get down to the bottom of the matter? Right? Let me go to this precept. Then you start going to the precepts when you went off, brother. Right? This is Proverbs 6 and 23. Quick precept. Right? Proverbs. That happens in marriages. Hey, brother, you might have went off. Your woman might have said, hey, look, you did, you know, you forgot. You left the car lights on. No, I ain't leave the car lights on. That's that's just the way it is, man. And then you look outside and the car lights on, and you so damn proud. You leave the damn car lights on, the battery died. No, it ain't really the car lights. That happened on its own. I know I turned it off. She said, well, aren't you going to turn the car lights off? The battery's going to die. I have to go to my appointment tomorrow. Right? I'm 9 months pregnant. Please. No, the car lights ain't on. Apologize. And you ain't called me Lord the other day. Did you cook? And you just start beguiling the situation, man. You know? Now she's crying. She's in labor. Right? And the car is dead. And you're a fool. Right? This is Proverbs 6 and 23. Right? Let me get this precept. It reads, I mean, this is a classic. One of my favorite precepts. For the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. Here's the point. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Reproof of instruction or reproofs of instruction, and that's the way of life, man. Meaning that's what this truth is about. That's what this thing is about, being correct. How would you grow if you could never take correction? How would you ever grow, man? How would you know what you did? How would you know you went off, man? I have to be corrected. Every brother has to be corrected. I ain't never been corrected. I've been in this thing 35 years. Well, brother, you're a liar. That's the way of life. That's how you grow in this thing. Hey, a brother can correct you, man. You know? Hey, a woman could correct you. You could be in this thing 15 years, and brother, 1 year, he can actually correct you, man. You know, legitimately with a precept. Nah, nigga, he don't know what's going on. Right? He don't know the in-depth breakdowns. He can't, and you got to say, yes, Akia, you're right. Jake, humble down, man. Stop being proud. Or, hey, you better let man correct you for the Most High correct you. I'll put that out there. You better take that correction from man, because when the Most High correct you, he's not going to speak to you like a man. That is the Most High using that man to correct you, man. Now, only God can tell me what to do. I don't see no precept. And the Most High said that the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. The Most High could be correcting with a brother, then with another brother or a sister or a precept. Nah, I'm waiting on the Most High to come to me in dreams. The Most High deal with me in dreams and visions. Can't no man tell me what to do. Been in this thing 13 years strong. Strong. Right? Can't tell me what to do. You see my fringes and my beard. Right? That's off, man. That's off. You're just a soldier. Don't just worry about being a soldier. Right? Just worry about being a prospect. Here you are doing God knows what in the dark. Right? You're late. You say camp starts at, let's say, 5 p.m. You show up at 8 p.m. Brother said, look, I thought you said 8. Well, look, that was 5 for y'all. 5 for y'all. I show up when I want to show up. I run this. That's off. Let me get one more real quick. I'm going to pass it. Right? This is Sirach chapter 20 and verse 1. Brother got to ask yourself, do you have a hard time taking correction? Right? This lesson is for you to examine yourself, man. Do you hold grudges? Are you a friendly brother? Right? Are you an envious person? Right? Do you accept persons against your soul? Are you too bashful? This is Sirach 20 and 1. There is a reproof that is not comely. Again, some man holdeth his tongue and he is wise. So a reproof, and I say this too, man, a correction ain't always going to be, smooth words, man. It can be. Hey, look, Salakia. I mean, look, I know that you said that camp start at 5, but you look like a hypocrite, King. If you say camp start at 5, you show up at 8, man. Maybe you should work on being on time, right? That's a comely reproof. An uncomely reproof is being rebuked before the congregation. A brother might yell at you, man. Right? Every reproof and correction ain't going to be easy, but you got to eat it, man. You got to take it. Stop expecting somebody to tickle your fancy and rub your beard. Ain't no man going to rub your beard and say you went off, man. You're going to tell you like a man, hey, you went off, man. Straight up. He's not going to put his hands on you. He's going to pull the scripture and show you where you went off. And he's going to have a witness or two, man, if need be. And you got to say, yeah, Salaki, I went off. Yeah, I know I went off. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to improve on that. Even in the marriage, man. Oh, your woman always burning the food. I don't burn the food. That stove always been like that. Something wrong with the stove. You need to call somebody to fix the stove. You never call nobody. When are you going to fix the stove? I told you how that. And then she started yapping about the damn food, man. She's burning the food because she's on her phone. And then she flip it. I told you about fixing the stove. You always try to make me do this. Hey, look, Salaki, I burnt the food. Yeah, Salaki, Lord. Right? Salaki, my Lord, Adawanya. I burnt the food. Do you want anything else? Here, let me take that and let me make you something else. What do you desire, my king? Hey, the brother, hey, man. Hey, look. Hey, you take that correction. Come, my Lord. Hey, look. But you got your woman. Look, baby, look. I don't like the way that you iron my pants. You always put that crease in it. You make me look like I'm a church guy. Look, stop putting that crease in my pants, please. That's the way my mother told me how to iron it. And her mother before her. You just don't appreciate me. I can't do nothing right by you. Hey, instead of Salakia, my king, how do you want those pants ironed? You want them like this? Then you start ironing the pants. Hey, you got to get in this thing. You got to know how to take correction, man. As a woman and as a brother. As a wife and as a husband. It reads, it is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly. And he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt. How good is it when thou art reproved to show repentance, for so thou shalt escape willful sin. And it's a good thing when you take that correction. Man, you feel good. Yeah, I took that correction. You might be kind of proud of yourself, man. Yeah, I took the low road. All praise to the Most High, man. I was kind of humble about it. And it was sincere. So you want to know how to take correction in this thing too, man. Rather it's a breakdown. Stop thinking all your breakdowns are right, man. No, that's the way I see it. It is what it is. No, that's really the seven heads. Really talking about China and damn Japan, Korea, Cambodia, and Malaysia. Then a brother going through the precepts and he trying to break it down for you when you just think you know everything, huh? Like Big Mama, man. He put his hand on his hip and started shaking his finger. Who are you, God? You got people saying, well, you're not the Most High. That's off. But you got it, King.
Con. Right? I want to pull this too in Acts. Right? And spirit, like we've been bringing out, man, they'll hop on the next man and the next man. So don't think dealing with a spirit that is just you dealing with it, man. You could come around the next brother or the next sister and put that spirit on them, man. Right? Yahweh Shai casted out many devils in the Gospels, which were infirmities and things like that. And they'll take this spirit, cast it into a pig, take this spirit, it'll run throughout the uttermost parts of the earth. These spirits are looking for a host, man. And if you give in to these spirits, not only will they hop on you, they'll dwell in you, man. You got to understand your body's a temple. You have a spiritual temple, man. And you have rooms. You understand? It's like the Bible. It's different rooms in this thing, man. Like you read Song of Solomon. So nevertheless, that demon, he may dwell, you understand, here, that he may be over here, that he may over here, manipulating you, man, and dwelling in you. He's going to bring other spirits and other demons, like you read about Matthew 12 and 43 all the way down, man. Next thing you know, you're overthrown. All because of one other brother. But you know, somebody coming to the camp, being unclean can make the whole camp unclean, man. So there's certain things you have to do and move and know that these spirits are not just troubling you, they could trouble your household. You come home with a rage demon, now your wife's angry, man. She's sick. Now all of a sudden she's sick of you know what, man. She's sick of it. She had enough. And she's in an uproar. And now she's rebelling against you because she's taking on your spirit, man. Now, if you wasn't just in a wicked spirit and you had more meekness and patience, that spirit wouldn't have hopped on her like that, man. Because when you're joined to one flesh, she's going to take on your spirit. And you're going to take on some of her spirits, man. Now, she may be sorrowful and stressed because of things that may not be going the right way, or you just lost a child, or God knows what is going on in your household. You take on that sorrow. You take on that pain. You understand? The same with your brother, man. If you truly love your brother and you're your brother's keeper, you're going to take on those same things. And on another fold, like I'm just bringing out, that these things can hop on you, man. Right, let me bring this out. It's the book of Acts, chapter 23 and verse 12. And when it was day, certain of the Jews band together and bound themselves under a curse. So these men, they came together and they bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would not, that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. So they came up with a conspiracy. And it wasn't just one man. It wasn't just two. It was a whole band of men came together with one thought in mind, hatred, man. So as you hate somebody, that spirit can hop on the next man, hop on the next man, hop on the next man. Next thing you know, it's a conspiracy, man. Somebody overthrowing you in your house. Somebody overthrowing you in your congregation. Somebody overthrowing you and trying to kill you, man. This happened to Paul. It says saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. Imagine being in such rage and have such hatred for an Israelite that you're not eating, man. And Jake loved to eat, man. If it's one thing Jake liked to do, it's eat. Eat all of the food, all of the snacks, drink all the wine, and kick back, man, and relax and have seconds. So if these men, they wasn't fasting for the Lord. Essentially, they was fasting, man. They were fasting for Satan and having Satan to manipulate their minds. When did the Lord say, thou shalt not eat and drink till thou hast killed my servant? Where's that at in the Bible, man? But then you had these men moving in that spirit. You don't want to move in a Cain spirit. You hate your brother. You're not eating, you're not drinking, you're not talking till he be's destroyed, man. And they were moved. So like they were more than 40, which had made this conspiracy, man. And a conspiracy don't happen in 3 hours. A conspiracy, this thing is thought out, man. And it happens over time. And it's a thought, and these band of men coming together, you know, essentially to destroy and kill Paul. And they came to the chief priests and elders and said, we have bound ourselves, ourselves under a great curse, that we will eat nothing until we have slain Paul. And essentially, man, I mean, brothers move in that same spirit. I'm not going to do X, Y, Z until he forgives me. I'm not going to do this, that, until she forgives me. You may not talk to your wife in 2 days, man. Just angry in the house, slamming all of the doors, unloosening with your damn screwdriver all of the damn Phillips, man. So when she grab hold of the thing, she flicks it open and the knob flies off, man. And now she's forced to talk to me now. Has to get that fixed, huh? Right? You unloosening things in the house, you turning over in bed, you snatching all the covers. Just being a nigga, man. Just ask for forgiveness. Just come together and show love, man. Start with that prideful spirit. I, therefore this I, they chop that off, And now it's just nothing but hatred in the house, man. And nothing about forgiveness. Right? These men were moving in the spirit till they wasn't going to do nothing until their will came to pass. You don't want to have that mindset. You know, I'm not going to pull up on this brother, talk to this brother until he gives me an apology. You know, I'm going to bound myself under a curse. And that's essentially what you're doing on a lower level. Yeah, you're not trying to kill that brother physically, not trying to take a bat and a knife and knock him upside the head with it. You're not trying to poison his oatmeal, man. You're not trying to do things like that and poke holes in his tire and hope that he goes off the cliff. You're not doing that, but essentially you're trying to get your way. Yeah, man, until this brother does this and this, look, I ain't talking to him. I ain't being cool with him. And Jake is the king of pride, man. Me and the brother was talking about that before the call, man. You have certain people, they don't talk for years, right? You have Jake, they won't talk to their father, their brother, you know, or somebody in their family for years, man. And they act like it's nothing to it. It is what it is. That's your flesh, man. That's your family. That's your wife. You only get one mother. You understand? And your wife only gets one husband. Righteously. You understand? So you got to ask yourself, I mean, what am I doing, man? Am I letting pride manipulate me to where I'm not doing X, Y, and Z until this comes to pass or that comes to pass? You're not eating. You're not drinking. You're not talking. You're not sitting up down. You're not trying to have a conversation. You're not doing all of these things because you're so conflicted in your mind that you're right, man. It's not all about you being right. Let me get this quick precept in the book of Proverbs, right? It's not about you being right all the time, man. You know? Let me bring this out. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 17. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just. So if you're always first in your own cause, you're going to always seem just in your eyes. Meaning, look, I put that down there because of that. And I did this because of that. You're always justified, man. Like the brother was going until your damn lights on. You're acting like your lights wasn't on, man. And you're justified. You're always right. You spent all the money. You said, well, I had to. It was a sale. What else was I supposed to do? You can't always be right. And you're never wrong, man. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. So your neighbor's gonna come search you, man. Like, hold on, man. This brother's right. Then, he's right again. Every time I talk to this brother, he's right. I mean, he's never wrong. He never take accountability. You know what? I'm going to search out that matter. He can't always be right. Now your neighbor, he's coming to search behind you. Is this, is that? Is what he's saying is true? We go to the precepts. And it could be your wife, man. You can't always be right in the house and your wife's always wrong. She's going to search you. You're saying that it's this when it's really that. You're saying that you spent the money on this when this bill was due. And you're saying you should have bought that and you didn't buy this. Your wife's going to be like, you know what? This man is real proudful. She may say that in the back of her head. Then she may check those receipts. She may check up on that email. Or she may ask and check up on the receipt. And you damn needed a tune-up and some oil, but you got your whole alternator changed, man. So somebody's going to search you and find out your fault that you've been wrong this whole time. And that eventually is going to happen to a prideful man that's always right and just in his mind, man. You don't want to be that brother. It's okay to say, I was wrong. You know what? You was right. It's okay to get another witness, man. Nobody wants a brother or a friend that's always just uncorrectable, man. Because it'll be, Shalom, King. It'll be real uncomfortable with that brother, man, being around him. Because he's always right. Can never take correction. And the brother don't never want to speak up and say anything, man. And that's off, man. It says, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. So that neighbor's going to come and he's going to search out that matter, whether what you're saying is righteous or not. Brothers got it.
God. And Shalom, Yardan. This adds to that, right? This is 1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse, I'm going to start at 30. Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman, do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion and into the confusion of thy mother's nakedness? So Jonathan didn't give a damn. Tell you straight up, he didn't care that his father had an envious spirit against David, man. He didn't fall under pressure. He said, hey, look, Jonathan knew that Saul was off, man. And people are going to get mad that you don't feed into that spirit that's on them, man. People are going to be mad, man. People want people around them to gossip with, backbite with, speak evil against. People need that around them. And if you don't give heed to that, it's going to put more spirits on them, man. And more spirits on them. And that's what happened between Jonathan and Saul. Jonathan knew Saul was off. He didn't care who it was. If somebody's off, they're off. Jonathan knew that Jonathan knew that Saul was off, even though that was his father, and his father was the king. And he was willing, and he was next in line. Jonathan was next in line to inherit the kingdom. He was next in line to rule, man. He counted all of that but dung. It's about the truth at the end of the day. It's about righteousness. It's not about you, man. Right? Reading on. It reads, for as long as the son of Jesse liveth upon the ground, thou shalt not be established, nor thy kingdom. Wherefore now send and fetch him unto me, for he shall surely die. Right? So now Satan is being used on Saul to tempt Jonathan. That's temptation. Right? You can inherit the kingdom. All you have to do is deliver up my grudge. Help me feed into my madness. Feed into my demon. Feed into my spirits. Right? And he had to make that decision. Look, is it worth it? Do I want to lose the kingdom? Do I want to lose the throne? Right? Do I give heed to these spirits? Right? Do I respond to that text about murmuring and backbiting? Am I that type of person? Or do I shut it down? Do I say, hey, look, that's off. Hey, look, I don't want to talk about that. And sometimes you got to say it straight like that. Stop saying, oh, well, I don't know. Somebody's sitting there backbiting and you say, well, yeah, I don't know, could be. Say, no, that's off. You're backbiting. That's murmuring. Stop beating around the bush, man. Stop sugarcoating it. Just say what it is. Hey, look, you're backbiting. You're murmuring. Get that spirit off of you, man. You're going off. Stop being a, well, you know, that is crazy. That's wild. I think, I don't know. Did you, I don't, you know, and you just kind of sitting there, not, you know, double-minded about it, man. Hey, Jonathan didn't care. He said straight up, hey, look, you're off. He's about to say that. 1 Samuel chapter 20 and 30. And Jonathan answered Saul, his father, and said unto him, wherefore shall he be slain? What hath he done? What did he do? Why do you want to kill him? What did he do, man? Hey, somebody might say, yeah, this brother always do. Well, what did he do? Did you examine the matter? Yeah, this sister always. Well, what did she do? What scriptures did she violate? What law did they break? You sound emotional right now. You're leaning on the flesh and not on the spirit. What did he do? Jonathan didn't say, well, you know, I mean, David, did kind of look at, he said, hey, what did he do, man? You got to be in that spirit, man. All that backbiting, grudging, and you feeding it. And what did they do? What scripture? Pull the scripture. And that's a bold man of the Lord right there. And he knew that the kingdom was going to be departed from him once he spoke up for righteousness, man. He counted it all but dung because he had brotherly love, man. Right? It reads, let me read that again, 1 Samuel 20 and 32. And Jonathan answered Saul his father and said unto him, wherefore shall he be slain? And what hath he done? And Saul cast a javelin at him because he had no answers. He couldn't say, well, David, he went off here, he went off here. And he had no answers, man. God, damn, you don't want to give heed to what I say. So he tried to kill him. You got people like that, man. Once you stand up, they lose their mind. They want to get carnal, pluck their beard. Man, I'm out, man. They slam the door, they peel off on you because you don't give heed to that. They might block you. They might delete your number. They might take you out the group chat. They might separate from you. Because those demons can't take you standing up for righteousness, man. And you can't feel bad when they take you out the group chat. When they stop talking, don't feel bad. Oh, maybe I should have. No, you did the right thing. You stood up for the truth. You stood up when nobody else would stood up. You spoke up when nobody else would speak up. Don't feel bad when they don't deal with you how they used to deal with you. Because they want you to feed into those demons, man. And guess what? We don't feed in the demons over here, man. We fear Yahweh Shemyahushua. We don't fear man. We're not afraid of the face of man. We're not into gossip and murmuring, and we're not fans, and we're in cliques and a damn entourages, man. You know, and we fear the Most High, and it is what it is, right? So it says, I'm gonna read on two more on that. And Saul cast a javelin at him because he ain't had no answers to smite him, whereby Jonathan knew that it was determined of his father to slay David. And Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger and did eat no meat the second day of the month, for he was grieved for David because his father had done him shame. So he didn't even want to kick it with his father, man. He separated from his father. They were having a feast, man. He said, look, I'm not eating with you. I'm not drinking with you. I don't care if it's a feast day. Y'all going to hell off. You going off. Straight up and down. I'm not about to be in your caught up in your madness, man. I'm not caught up in your sins. All right, let me get this real quick in 1 Timothy. One more quick precept. I just thought of it.
Precept back for you.
Come on, quick precept. First Timothy chapter 5 and verse 22. Lay hands suddenly on no man. Keep neither be partaker of other men's sins. Keep thyself pure. So keep yourself pure. Stop giving heed to folly, man. If something's off, is off. And that might be a test, for lack of a better spirit. Are you going to stand up for righteousness? That might be the reason that you don't make it in Jacob's trouble. You don't make it to the kingdom. You had everything right, but in that one thing, like the Lord said in Revelation, man, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee. They were doing this, they were doing that right, they were doing this right, they were doing that right. The Lord said, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee. So you might be doing a whole bunch right. You might be reading, you might be studying, you might be praying, you might be fasting, right? You might be giving alms. You might exhort brothers. You might visit the sick. You might do whatever. But the Lord said, nevertheless, that's Revelation chapter 2, 3 on down. He said, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee. And the Most High got something against us, man. We're not Yahweh Shah. And the Most High can have you have something against you, and that could be the spirit of you holding grudges, man, or not taking correction, or envy, or being damn caught up in the congregation of the wicked, man. You got it, Yardan.
That's facts. Yeah, it would be moments in time past when brother would tell me about another brother, and I just simply say, "Well, have you spoke to him?"
Right.
And he'll say, "Well, I mean, nah, not yet." And I said, "Well, I don't want to hear anymore until you talk to him."
Right.
So you just tell me all this stuff. Now I'm getting an impression that this brother's evil, when that really might not be the case, because I don't know the whole matter thereof. So now that's just like painting a picture in a bad image. Now you're slandering a brother because you don't know how to talk and communicate. This is Sirach. And I don't want no parts of that. Unless y'all ask me for counsel or whatever the case is, but all I can really say is speak to that brother. Like it says in Matthew 18th chapter. If you have a fault with a brother, hey, say it. There's been times here I've said, hey, brother, I got a fault with you. Hey, brother, why didn't you do this? Brother, what happened? But nevertheless, this is Sirach chapter 10, verse 28. It's like in verse 29. Who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul? Because that's what it is, right? And sometimes when people go through things and, feel like somebody did something to them, it's really not, what it really is. Brother, you got it wrong, right? And who will honor him that dishonoreth his own soul? It's like his own life. I don't want to have nobody should have any participation in somebody, speaking up a whole lot of words against another brother. I don't want to justify him, and neither do I want to honor this man. Because in reality, he's just making himself look bad, right? And that's the case a lot of the times. And although, even certain times it may not be the case, still, hey, I don't want to hear it because this has nothing to do with me. It's a thin line between, asking for counsel versus just backbiting and holding grudges. Well, remember that time he did do that. He did do this. I don't want to hear that. Let that go. Imagine the Lord came to you by night with a dream. I remember you did this, January 4th, 2020. And he slowly disappear away and you wake up in terror.
Right.
You're not going to be able to sleep. You'll feel terrible. And I'm sure that's how the other person feels when you hold these certain grudges, this anger, and I receive the rebuke. And that's a terrible spirit to have. Because like the brothers were saying, nobody wants to deal with that person. That's the type of spirit that can break up friendships. You got it.
Let me just quick precept real fast. Right in 1 Samuel. Right? Because when you go into it, that's why these accounts are real mighty, man. There's nothing wrong with reading the precepts. That's extremely mighty. But those accounts that get extremely in depth, man. You know how David moved, what he said, his countenance, how he spoke. You could read a lot through the spirit by what the Most High gives you in these accounts, man. It's extremely mighty. But it's got to take advantage of 1 and 2 Samuel. You understand the Chronicles, 1 and 2 Kings. These accounts where you could dive into it. Judges, Joshua, Genesis. It's a lot that brothers read, and they may read right through it, man. And then you read it again. Oh, damn, he did say that, man. Or he kind of moved in this spirit. Or I can apply this to my life. Or I can apply this to my household. You understand? It's extremely mighty, man. It's 1 Samuel 26:4. David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed. So David had the upper hand. He sent out spies and knew that Saul was coming in very deed. And David arose and came to the place where Saul had pitched. And David beheld the place where Saul laid, and Abner, the son of Ner, the captain of his host, and Saul laid in the trench, and the people pitched round about him. Then answered David and said to Amalek the Hittite and to Abishai the son of Uriah, the brother of Joab, saying, who will go down with me to Saul to the camp, and Abishai said, I will go down with thee. So David is with his hitmen, man. They're going down and they're camped around Saul. Now Saul is, for lack of a better term, he's loafing, man. He's not on his cue, right? He's sitting up there. He's thinking this, doesn't even know that David with his hitman is coming down. And David and Abishai came to the people by night, and behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench, and his spear stuck in the ground. So that's like you have a so-called weapon, and your weapon's locked up in a safe somewhere, man. It's in a garage. It's in the backyard, just in the dust and dirt, and you sleep. Now, what happens if a burglar comes? You got to run all the way downstairs to get to your so-called weapon, man. Oh, it's in the safe, and you going through the damn combination 7, 9, 4, and then you get shot, man. So Saul's asleep. He's relaxed. He's passed out, man, and his spear stuck in the ground. And essentially, that's your modern day weapon. You know what that is, right? And David is approaching him, and it said this. Then said Abishai to David, God have delivered thine enemy into thine hand. And you can't really, I mean, how sweet is that? Saul is delivered up right before you. He's laid sleeping. You don't have to fight him. You don't have to look him in your eye and then it gets emotional, right? You don't have to resist him, and you have to fight through a trench to get to him, and he's on a high elephant somewhere or in a chariot. You have to run with a horseback right beside to get to him. He's literally delivered into David's hands. This day, now therefore, let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear, even to the earth at once, and I would not smite him the second time. Meaning I'm going to take this spear, and it's going to be a one-hitter quitter, man. I'm going to thrush him through, and I ain't going to have to smite him again. It says this, and David said to Abishai, destroy him not, for who can stretch forth his hand against the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? So David's mind wasn't to get revenge and to get back. He's saying, he's posing a question. Who can stretch forth their hand against God's anointed and be guiltless, man? And that's not always on a physical level. That don't mean a physical fight, or you pick up a physical axe or a physical spear, or you fight your brother and you use your knuckles, man. I mean, you can stretch forth your hand with slander. You can stretch forth your hand with manipulation, with lies, with tale-bearing. You can stretch forth your hand in multiple ways, man. Satan stretches forth his hand and tries to take us out constantly, you know, through the spirit. So you can stretch forth your hand and try to manipulate and destroy your situation. It says this, David said, furthermore, as the Lord liveth, the Lord shall smite him. Or his day shall come to die, or he shall descend into battle and perish. So David said, man, look, the Lord got him, huh? The Lord's going to destroy him. Whether it be by war, whether it be the Lord to smite him in battle, whether he die in his sleep, or whether he die and get poisoned or whatever, however it gets killed and destroyed, the Lord's going to take it up with him, huh? And David had it sweet like pie, man. I mean, he was asleep. He was round about his trench. It was by night. You know you getting that good sleep at night, man. Probably 3 a.m, 12 o'clock at night. Who knows? The men of the Lord in the ancient world, they rose up early in the morning. So they wasn't up all night doing God knows what, man. Just in vanity. They got their sleep and they woke up rising up early to do, you know, the work through the spirit. But nevertheless, David said, look, man, the Lord got him. Verse 11. The Lord forbid that I should stretch forth my hand against the Lord's anointed. But I pray thee, take thou now the spear that is at the boister and the curse of water, and let us go. So David took the spear and the curse of water from Saul's boister. So he just made sure that Saul didn't have a weapon to take him down with. He was still wise in that matter. And they gat them away, and no man saw it, nor knew it, neither awaked, for they were all asleep, because a deep sleep from the Lord was falling upon him. So the Lord put a deep sleep on him, and he could have tested David. Let me see if David is going to kill this man. I'm going to put a deep sleep on him, so deep that it could be a marching band outside, man. It could be a helicopter. It could be a bomb. It could be an earthquake and a volcano, and they're going to be sound asleep. Let me see if he's still going to take the opportunity to slay him. Meaning something could be super sweet for you, right given to you, right through your hands. And are you going to take the bait, or are you going to stay true? That goes with having integrity when nobody's around and nobody's watching. Brothers got it.
Con. I got a quick precept. This is Sirach 22 and 22. If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be a reconciliation. Right? If you have a fault with a brother, you get at it, whatever the case is, y'all work it out, Lord willing, that's beautiful. Except for upbraiding or pride or disclosing of secrets or a treacherous wound. And holding a grudge can become, it's like it can be a treacherous wound. And you talking with a brother, y'all sipping yan, and somebody he just slip out that one time he did something. Even after y'all squashed it. That's a treacherous wound. That's like a stab to the heart. But why'd you bring that up? I thought that was done away with. That's gonna put a spirit on everybody. And that's disgusting. Or disclosing of secrets, or a treacherous wound. For these things, every friend will depart. And that sucks, because the Most High gives us a lot of beautiful friendships in this truth. But if you break it, then, hey, that's on you. That's tough nuts, as they say in the world. Because a friend is like wine. He's going to give you counsel. He'll comfort you. He's going to give you beautiful words and wisdom in a time of distress. But if you break that friendship, it's like, you pushed away somebody that the Lord put in your life. And that's a very big thing. People, having a wife is beautiful, but having a friend is beautiful as well. Hey, look at Jonathan and David. So this is Matthew chapter 16, verse 23. But he returned and said unto me, it's like and said unto Peter, get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. Now, Peter could have easily had a grudge. He could say, oh, he called me Satan. I'm leaving. I don't like that. Right? Certain things you got to understand through a spiritual aspect. Right? But we find that Peter doesn't hold a grudge. So sometimes you may get into it with your brother, whatever, and it's really you rebuking Satan. Now, if that brother's humble enough, he'll understand that it's just correction. Right? That's why you have to be humble in this thing. You have to receive correction. I'm not saying be a fool and just receive everything, because that brother just may be lashing out or just hurt. But you have to understand the situation, read the room. Like it says, let me grab this, Sirach 17. A reading the room, that's a good spiritual gift, because not every brother has that. We get two more. This is Sirach 17 and 6. Counsel and a tongue, and eyes, ears, and a heart gave he them to understand. Withal, he filled them with the knowledge of understanding, and shewed them good and evil. So you have to be able to perceive, whether somebody's being sincere, if they're trying to rebuke you, or they just, being nasty. They just start rebuking you for nasty reasons, But I'll get this last one. It's Genesis chapter 45, verse 5. And it's almost one of my favorite accounts in the scriptures. I'll start at verse 3. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph, my father yet live? Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. Because I'm sure, in his brothers' minds, they're thinking, oh, damn, maybe he's holding a grudge. Maybe he's going to, jam us up. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me hither, for God did send me before you to preserve life. Right? And that's a beautiful account of not holding a grudge, when somebody clearly could. Right? He's inclined. I mean, you're not inclined to hold a grudge, but, if you're in the world and you just reading this from the outside looking in, I'm sure a lot of people would have said, no, I wouldn't have did that. I would have jammed them up. I would have made them pay taxes. Hey, Joseph did none of that. Joseph was a wise, righteous man. So even when your brother do you wrong, you have to turn the other cheek. And that's an account in the scriptures before Yahushua came on the scene. So that's beautiful. He literally turned the other cheek. He said, hey, this is all of the man, this is all of the Lord, you know? So you just have to have the spiritual understanding and discernment to understand if something's of the Lord. This brother's just clearly just a fool, you know, whatever the case is. You have to apply that spiritual wisdom and understand the situation. If that makes sense, but you got it. You on mute, King.
Well, I was saying we could bring out closing precepts.
Okay.
I was gonna get don't turn it. Turn the other cheek, but you poured it out already. So that's the spirit. It's on you, Yarda.
It's like it. This is right, chapter 6, verse 7. And you know, when you read Sirach, you know, the books of wisdom, you can't just look at a precept and say that's just not as heavy as this one. That's not as cool as Revelation 13 and 10 and 9. That's not that cool. That's not that sweet. Hey, every word of God is good and pure, like it says in Proverbs 30 and 5. You can't stick to your favorite precepts all the time. You know, somebody asks you for counsel, you're thinking about, Yahushua is dark skin, right? That's Revelation 1:13. You turn red, you water to wine. You got to go into all the precepts, all the words, you know. So Sirach chapter 6, verse 7. And this is a heavy verse. So Sirach 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Right? You shouldn't be looking over that verse and saying, okay, I get it. That makes sense. Duh. You saying duh after reading the scriptures. You don't even apply it. Talking about duh. Oh yeah, that's easy. I don't need to remember that one. No, that's important to remember as well. You know, because if you don't prove a friend first, you're gonna not see all the red signs or all the red flags. You know, there's some brothers we all departed from because, you know, we could have proved them a little longer. But as we continue to grow in this thing, we see, okay, all right, this brother, he clearly don't need to be around the congregation. He got spirits on him. He's the type to hold a grudge, whatever the case. Right? So this is a heavy verse because you have to be careful who you let into your life. I get one last one. Sirach 11 and 29. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitfulness man hath many trains. Right? He got a lot of snares and traps for you, and you just won't know. You got to be careful whoever you may bring into your house. They tell you that even in the world. You know, don't let, and I think my father or my uncle, somebody told me this. They said, don't let a white man in your house. You know, there's a reason why I said that, but I just can't remember. But you got it, King.
God. Yeah, God. So, I mean, all these accounts essentially, man, it's fire, man. Brothers are bringing out mighty points through the spirit. And don't just read and read over these accounts, man. You have to apply the accounts. It's so much in the scriptures that you have to apply. And if you don't apply them and you know them, you're going to be held in a greater condemnation, man, for destruction. Because you knew the will of the Heavenly Father and you neglected it. And you turned your face away from Yahushua. Let me get this quick precept, man. Right? It's the book of 1 Kings chapter 1 and verse number 5. Then Adonijah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, I will be king. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. So this man usurped authority and stole the kingdom, man, from David. Now, David's on his deathbed. He's sick. You understand? He's old and feeble. You understand? And this man, what did he do? He took the kingdom and asserted his own authority. And his father had not displeased him at any time, saying, why hast thou done so? And he also was very goodly man, and his mother buried him after Absalom. So check this out. I'm gonna read all the way. I'm gonna get to verse 20. And thou, my lord, O king, the eyes of all Israel are upon thee, that thou shouldest tell them who shall sit on the throne of my lord, the king after him. Meaning all Israel's in an uproar. They're looking after him, who's going to reign next. Well, what are you going to do, king? You have to speak up. What's the matter? You understand? After Nathan and Bathsheba came to him, in subtlety, letting them know that Solomon's supposed to reign. So you can have people that have envy and strife, and you could tell his brother envied him, man. He wanted the kingdom. Now, the kingdom was rightfully supposed to be given to Solomon, but he didn't care about that. He absurded that authority. He ran presumptuously. He did what he wanted to do, and he took something that wasn't his, man. Don't let your envy for somebody have you to steal or covet or go off, man, and commit lewdness and go to hell off with rebellion, man. Jumping down to verse number 50. And Adonijah feared before Solomon and arose and went and caught hold on the horns of his altar. So after he absurded authority, got the kingdom, right? Solomon came and was the real king and got anointed. And this man, he was off, his so-called brother, man. And he's holding on to the horns of his altar because he knows that he's off, man. And it says, and it was told Solomon, saying, behold, Adonijah feared King Solomon, for lo, he have caught hold on the horns of the altar, saying, let King Solomon swear unto me today that he will not slay his servant with the sword. And Solomon said, if he will shew himself a worthy man. I mean, the Lord may kill you if you don't show yourself a worthy man. You're going off, you're stealing stuff, you're envying, you're certain authority. And the only way that this man was going to be killed is if he shows himself a worthy man. There shall not an hair of him fall on the earth, but if wickedness should be found in him, he shall die. So King Solomon sent, and they brought him down from the altar, and he came and bowed himself to King Solomon. And Solomon said unto him, go to thine house. So this man stole the kingdom. He went off. He had men run before him, and all of that was done, you understand, presumptuously. It wasn't in order. So you can't move in that spirit, you understand, and wanting something and coveting after something. Because like we went into earlier, when you covet something, right, it shows sin and malice when you covet something. Shouldn't want your neighbor's ass, your neighbor's wife, your neighbor's vineyard, their house. The kingdom was supposed to be for Solomon, but you want it, so you steal it. Don't be that brother, man. Be happy with what the Most High gave you. You have to be content, man. Let me get this quick precept on being content. Because if you're not content, you're going to want more and more. Maybe that's not the will of the Lord to give that to you, man. Right? Let me get this to you. Let me bring out this quick precept. It's the book of John. Right? Shalaki, bear with me. Shalaki. Matter of fact, brothers got it till I pull this precept.
Con, and I'm gonna actually get this. I was gonna hold it, but
oh yeah, I got it.
Con, go ahead, King.
Okay. Con, it's this Luke chapter 3 and verse 14. And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, and what shall we do? And he said unto them, do violence to no man, neither accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages. So he told them to be content with your wages. And that's not just on one fold talking about money. Be content with everything the Lord gave you. Your wages, your knowledge, your wife, your children. Don't envy another brother's household, another brother's wife. You shouldn't be looking at her at all. Don't envy another brother's wisdom. Don't envy anything, man. You don't want to be like Adonijah, man. Just stole it and absurd his authority and his say-so to his ruin. The Lord said to be content with your wages, whether that be whatever the Most High may grant you with, $12 an hour to $25 an hour to $35 an hour, whatever the Most High gives you. The Lord said, paraphrasing, let me not paraphrase, let me get this quick precept. It's what the Lord said. It's the book of Matthew, right? Real fast, chapter 6, right? And verse number 11. Give us this day our daily bread. And then say to make a storehouse of bread and have all the different breads, the cinnamon bread, the Hawaiian bread, the unleavened breads, and all of the different cakes, man. No, give us our daily bread. So whatever the Most High gives me, you got to be content with that, man. Every single day, just like he did in the wilderness. And be content with the manna and get fed, you understand, and receive and grow in this thing. You got it, King.
I just want to add on that before we bring out closing precepts. One quick precept. 2 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 4. Absalom said, moreover, oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man which hath any suit or cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice. That's off. Oh, that I want to be in charge, spirit, man. Oh, that I wish I was king, man. Right? Hey, put me and give me that brother wife. I'll show, I'll really be a man to her, man. That's off, man. He don't deserve her spirit. Right? Absalom had that envy spirit. Oh, that I were made judge, man. He was the prince. Just gotta wait your turn, man. You would be next up. You wait your turn. If you patient in this thing, the most I'll give you, man, was for you, man. But that coveting, read that again. Oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man which hath any suit or cause might come unto me. That's that Diotrephes spirit of 3 John. Right? Diotrephes, he sought to have the preeminence. Let me get that in 3 John real quick, man. Right? I want to be in charge spirit. I wish I had this. Give me that. I could show him how to really run it. Right? That's off, man. Right? He don't know what to do with his son. I should be his father. Right? Let me be his father. Lord, give me his father. Let me be the father one day. I'll show him how to raise his son. That's off, weird, man. Yeah, it's off. Right? 3 John verse 9. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. So Diotrephes, he was set up by the apostles, but he loved to have the preeminence. Right? You have certain brothers like that. You may be set up. Another man may put you in a particular office or a position, and then it gets to your head, and then you feel like you're over the brothers, and can't nobody tell you anything. Diotrephes was like that. He loved to have the preeminence, and he didn't even receive the apostles. And the only reason he was set up is because of the apostles. Right? It reads, wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds, which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words. So he was backbiting. And John got word of it, man. Prating meaning running your mouth. Yeah, John, so-and-so. Man, Peter, he ain't really do so-and-so. They not really doing A, B, and C. So Diotrephes, he was talk, man. Right? It reads, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith. I mean, he was one of the top men. John said he's not content. Jake, you always want more, man. And more. And not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and cast them out of the church. This guy had a demon on him, man. Kicking brothers out the church. Are you talking to Yaradan? You know Yaradan? He saved in your phone? No, you can't come around. Delete his contact, then you can join. Are you affiliated with Ariah? Say his name again. We don't say Ariah here. We don't say Yaradan in this building, right? Not in this school right here. We don't even mention these brothers' names, man. Right? Then brothers start deleting. Okay, I'll delete the number, and you start giving heed to Diotrephes' spirit, man, and giving heed to his backbiting and prating words. Now you hate Ariah and Yaradan. You don't even know why. All right? You don't even know why. Now you dead, man. He is like that. You just coming looking for little stuff. Yeah, he did kind of look at me, kind of funny on the Passover. And he never even looked at you, man. He was looking at the unleavened bread. You know? Well, Yaradan, you know, he did cut me off there. Brother, he wasn't even thinking about you, man. So now you got a spirit on you, an evil suspicion, and it overthrew your judgment. So you can't give heed to these spirits that be on brothers due to they envy and they pride, and then I hop on you, man. It says Diotrephes, he was casting people out the church. Like Jeffrey from Jazz from damn Fresh Prince, man.
Feeling
Throwing people out the church. right? It reads, beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth good is of the Most High, and he that doeth evil hath not seen the Most High. Demetrius hath good report of all men and of the truth itself. Yea, and we ourselves, it's like, and we also bear record, and ye know that our record is true. You want to be a Demetrius in this thing. You want to have a good report with all men. Yeah, that brother don't backbite. Yeah, that brother, he don't murmur. And you don't even have to murmur. You can just give ear to it. Proverbs 17:4. It says a wicked doer giveth ear to a naughty tongue. You don't even have to. You just sitting there listening to it. The Most High said that's off, man. And the Lord said, believe not every tale, for it is slander. And Sirach the 19th chapter. You just listening to every accusation. Oh, wow. Oh, whoa, why don't you do this? Right? Or maybe this should happen. Right? You can't just give heed to every word, man, that are spoken. Backbiting, murmuring, because a lot of this stuff is rooted in envy. And a lot of Diotrephes, he wanted to sow discord. Right? So you got to watch out for that spirit, man, unless that seed is planted in you. You know, but brothers got it. Well, we can bring out closing precepts, but brothers got it.
One last thing. The brothers bring out Second Maccabees, 3rd chapter, or Onias. This Second Maccabees, real quick, chapter 3 and verse 1. This is probably the most disgusting account of grudges and hatred and a lack of brotherly love. So this is 2 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1. Now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace, and the laws were kept very well because of the godliness of Onias the high priest and his hatred of wickedness. Right, I'm going to jump down to verse 4. But once Simon of the tribe of Benjamin, who was made governor of the temple, fell out with the high priest about this order in the city. And when he cannot overcome Onias, and that's off. I just want to overcome. I want to overcome this brother. If me and Uriah had a fallout, now I want to overcome him. And when he could not overcome Onias, he gave him to Apollonius, the son of Thrasus, who was governor of Coelesyria and Phenice, and told him that the treasury in Jerusalem was full of infinite sums of money. And he probably pinned it well. Yeah, man. I heard in Jerusalem, they got a lot of money. I heard it was going crazy with the money, man. People bringing out arms and gold from afar. I heard they had monkeys too, man. He just painted it, right? So that the multitude of their riches, which did not pertain to the account of the sacrifices, was innumerable, and that it was possible to bring all into the king's hand. He's probably like, man, it'd be crazy if somebody took that. Kind of looking at him. It'd be crazy if somebody took all that money, right? So that's the spirit he's moving in. That's off. So I'm going to jump all the way down. You know, you can read the account on your own, but, you know, time will fail us. But I'm going to jump to 2 Maccabees, the 4th chapter. This is off. 2 Maccabees, the 4th chapter, in the 1st verse. This Simon, who we spake of fore, having been a bewarer of the money and of his country, slandered Onias, as if he had terrified Heliodorus and been the workers of these evils. If you want to know about Heliodorus, read the 3rd chapter, all right? Thus was he bold to call him a traitor that had deserved well of the city and tended his own nation and was zealous of the Jews. But when their hatred went so far, see, it started with one thing and it kept growing and growing and growing. That's his spirit. But when his hatred went so far that by one of Simon's faction, murders were committed, and that blood is on Simon's hand. The brother just brought out the brother just said it. Literally just said it. Hey, if you talk to so-and-so, you're finished. If you say this, hey, oh, you saying Oriah's name, give him the boot. So that's literally in the scriptures. Amen. Oh, nice. I tried to tell him about the city. He don't want to hear none of it. And people are like, yeah. Verse 4. Onias, seeing the danger of this contention, and that Apollonius, as being the governor of Coelesyria and Phenice, did rage and increased Simon's malice. So he put a spirit on everybody. This man Simon put a spirit on everyone. He went to the king not to be an accuser of his own countrymen, but seeking the good of all, both public and private. Because he's trying to watch out for his name. He's trying to make things comely. Right? This righteous man Onias. For he saw that it was impossible that the state should continue quite, and Simon leave his folly unless the king did look thereunto. And I'm going to read a few more. But after the death of Seleucus, when Antiochus called Epiphanes took the kingdom, Jason, the brother of Onias, labored under hand to be high priest. And I'm going to jump down to...
So like it real quick, the brother, meaning he took a deal, he took the bag to be the high priest.
Yep.
Then sold his soul for money to be the high priest.
And I just read that in Sirach. It's similar to selling out, right? But let me jump down. And this is what Jason did. Everybody's going off. Simon's going off. Jason, I was under Onai. Everybody went off. And I'm gonna jump down to verse 26. Then Jason, who had undermined his own brother, being undermined by another, was compelled to flee into the country of the Ammonites. So all hell just broke loose. All because of grudge and just wanting to overcome brothers and undermining people. Hey, and that's what happens, man. That's what happens to this very day. I mean, I wish we could read the whole account, but time with fellas, man.
Yeah. Hey, that's a beautiful account right there, man. Started from jealousy and envy to robbery and murder to getting Esau, man, getting the nations to come against your brother. People paying for your spot, plotting. That's how you know this is about Israel, man.
Yeah, that's off. That's off.
Yeah.
Con, I'm gonna bring out a closing precept unless anybody got anything else through the spirit.
No, you got it, King.
All right, Con. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse number 2. It says, "Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God." So every single Monday night through the spirit, brothers are charging brothers that continue on in the faith, stay diligent, continue on, purge out those spirits, be watchful in all things, and strengthen everything which remains that's ready to die. So whether you know it or not, in all your infinite wisdom and your strength, or you being a good father and a good wife or a good husband, it's something on you that's lacking, man, that you may not perceive. And that isn't just talking about, oh, I haven't read all the day, I have to do this or I have to do that. Why I didn't fast this week. It's not going to be obvious. That's why you have to watch for it, man. Whether that's your spirit, whether you get sorrowful, whether you're depressed, you understand? Whether you're not going as hard as you could go, you're stagnant, you're content with what you know. As long as I'm keeping the commandments, and I'm going to stay right here where I'm comfortable. No, we keep growing in this thing, man. We have to continue to strengthen things. The Lord wants us always to work. So if you're strengthening something, you understand it's about to die, what does that mean? That means you're always working. You're always spiritually doing the work, strengthening up something, man. Whether that's your reading, your praying, your fasting, your brotherly love, your prophecy, your geography, your world history, your understanding what's going on in world news. These things have to be sought out, man. It says this: "Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee." So the Lord said, if you're not watching, he's going to visit you at night, and he's going to blow your candlestick out. And that candlestick, man, it could be flickering right now. It could be barely on. It could be blowing in the wind. It could be stagnant. You don't want the Lord to come and blow your candlestick out, man, because the Lord isn't going to warn you. Like man warned you. Man gives you a notice. Yeah, a late notice. A so-called bill collector will call you 17 times. The Lord's not going to do that, man, because he's already been patient, long forbearing. You understand? It's merciful and giving you grace all this time for you to be on fire with multiple accounts, multiple witnesses and people telling you, multiple videos that you watch saying the same thing over and over. Repent, watch in the last days, stay on fire, and strengthen things which remain, man, before the coming of our Lord Yahushua. And if you neglect to hear and receive these words, then the outcome is inevitable, man. Your candlestick being blown out in obscurity of darkness. So continue to read, pray, and fast, and be diligent as men and women of the Lord.
That's right. It's my closing. This is the other one I found at Sirach 14 and 4. He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul gathereth for others that shall spend his goodly riotously. All right, so you don't want to gather by defrauding your own soul, selling out. That's pretty much what the account just read. But this is Luke chapter 7, verse 23. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. All right, everything, all the brothers, the points, the precepts, the analogies brothers brought out, the examples, the stories, and you can't be offended in it. You can't say it doesn't apply to you when it really does. You can't say, if this is eating up your heart, that means you're getting cut. And that means you have to humble down and make reconciliation with somebody or confess your faults. All right. Again, and blessed is he whosoever should not be offended in me. Right. In fact, you should want to get cut up if it applies to you. You shouldn't want to fight against the scriptures and say, no, that don't really apply to me. Yes, it does, brother. Stop being so offended, or else you won't be blessed. You got it. You're on mute.
Can brothers hear me? Salaki. This Revelation chapter 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. All right, so brothers, see the times that we're living in. You see this purge season and laws being enforced. You see the Mosai's cutting down these top Edomites. You see World War III is escalating. You see literally all hell breaking loose on the earth, man. And the Mosai is going to give unto every man according as his work shall be. Brothers have to literally apply these precepts, these accounts that brothers are going into. And like I always say, there's practicality in the scriptures, man. You have to see and read and practice this in your life, right? You can apply these accounts, man, and what David did, what Saul didn't do, what Jonathan did, what Joseph did, right? What Yaradan, what Onias was into, man. Simon. There's practicality in the scriptures. Don't just read to read. You read, you examine your life according to what you have read, and you practice the good and you depart from the evil. That's how it works, man. That's how it works in this thing. And the Most High is going to give unto every man according as his work shall be. So if you're slothful, if your works are evil, right? If your works are not sincere, if your works are rooted in pride, if your works are iniquity, the Most High is going to give you over into evil and destruction. But if your works are sincere, your works are diligent, and your works endure, your works have to keep going. That's not just a one-day thing. It's not a contractual job, man. You got a contractual job. They hire you for 6 months. After that, you can leave and do whatever you want to do. No, this is until the kingdom comes, man. You have to work until Yahushua returns. The Lord said, work thy work for times, and in due time, he will give you your reward, paraphrasing it, man. Sirach, the 51st chapter. Right? But with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. I will take questions, how we normally do. Right, for about an hour, Lord willing. You can call in if you do have questions, sincere questions. The number is 213-603-9096, and that PIN number is 94809-305. Right, you should see it posted in the live chat. With that, Brother Naquam,
Brother Yardan,
Brother Ryan.
Shalom.